Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hello from everybody all around the world. This is another episode of The Welch, but with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, yes sir. Clap it up, yes sir. Get excited, wherever you are. We are back with another action-packed show after we just got here early one morning, going off the backs of an insane morning of fights with a knockout of the year contender with Brian Norman Jr. KOing Jen Sasaki. Now we got comments plenty, questions abroad, and everything is looking upwards up to Boots Ennis. Now saying, hey man, brother, the competition's steeper than ever and more real than we realize when it comes to Brian Norman versus Boots. So now everything that we said about what this show is going to be, but it got flipped on its head. Hey, I'm going to be completely honest. But that fight, that brought up a whole new cavalcade conversation that we need to have when it comes to Norman versus Boots, as well as, hey, but did Boots duck Brian Norman Jr. now with them committing more to 154 in light of him seemingly being up next on the docket for Boots to take on? Oh, it's a lot of stuff to cover. I'll tell you what, in a small amount of time to do it. Oh, and don't forget, we also got at the end of the show the championship rounds where we can talk about anything and everything that we want to discuss in the sports world. Boxing, basketball, NFL, all that, much more. Sports, movies, TV, don't matter to me. We can talk about it with you all. Make the show your own. Want you to sound, but at the end of the show, 30 minutes to potentially an hour, most likely longer, knowing how we do. And we're going to make it rock. And we're going to make it, hey, we're going to have some fun. We're going to be exciting. Oh, forgot to do the intro. Since you're here, leave a like on the stream if you would. Comment your thoughts and opinions on everything that we discuss on the show for today. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we go and post live on YouTube and whatever we do with this channel, as well as share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire. Yes, sir. Together, you and me can make it happen, all with your support. We're available on every podcasting platform imaginable. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. If we're not, tell us, we'll get there absolutely. We got ways to give if you want to support the channel. Cash App, PayPal, support whatever you want. It would be greatly appreciated. We ain't got super chats yet. We getting up there with the watch hours and all that stuff. We've been through the whole spiel. You know what we about, making this community better and investing back in the show. So if you want to make this better, hey, feel free to give. It means the world to me. Absolutely. But now, forget all that, brother. We got a lot to discuss in a short amount of time. So without further ado, since we're talking about boxing first and foremost, it's time to step into the ring. Yes, sir. Let's get it started. Round one of this show going underway with the what we know is the main talking point. Jen Sasaki just got absolutely murdered. The kingdom come by one of the baddest men at 147 right now with Brian Norman Jr. in an absolutely spectacular, spectacular knockout. It's going to be in, shoot, brother. Talk about, we got people in the chat. Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Time out, we got people in the chat commenting right now. Bobby, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Glad that you're here. Jay Riggs, thanks for showing up. Thanks for tuning in. KO of the year. You ain't lying about that, brother. You ain't lying about that at all. That was one of the most destructive knockouts I've seen, honestly, in the last 5 years. That was one of the most heart-stopping, absolutely concerning, scary, horrific levels of outright one-punch power that I've seen, I think, in the last 5 years. I'm so serious. You want to talk about a detrimental shot that absolutely shook up not just Jen Sasaki, but that entire stadium. But there were people crying in the stadium on the side from the sheer shock, not just of Jen Sasaki losing, but more so of the severity of the way that he got. This man was out before he hit the ground. I am talking, his mind disconnected from his body the second he got caught with that leaping left hook, or essentially with that counter left hook from Brian Norman Jr. And I shoot, man, like I have, it is rare that I have seen a real life-threatening type of shot that a punch lands on someone. We've seen one-punch KOs. We have seen definitely the level of power that from some of the best punchers in the world. Deontay Wilder on Luis Ortiz 2 times. We've seen what AJ's done to opponents in the past. We've seen what Tank's done to opponents in the past. Anyway, we've seen what he's been able to do to opponents countless times over, being able to spark people out with one shot, touch them on the chin. He's done this with one of the most destructive, horrific levels of power I've ever seen, at least in the last 5 years of this boxing game. It was absolutely weird. And again, if we break down the fight real quickly, this cat set it up beautifully. And I mean, Brian Norman Jr., we watched the fight live. If you got to see the fight live, my gosh, you got to see a masterclass in absolute counter-punching perfection by the likes of Brian Norman Jr. I'm talking, this brother was going and reading everything that Jen Sasaki was doing in just an incredible fashion. Oh, I almost forgot. It's Juneteenth, brother. Happy Juneteenth to everybody all around the United States of America. Yes, indeed. We love it. I'm black. I'm proud. And we celebrating the holiday when officially all slaves actually got freed. Genuinely. We love it. We support it. And Brother Norman put his stamp on the day. I tell you what, he started the day with an outright bang. This cat punched with the power of all of his ancestors behind that one shot. It was insane. And it was a pugilistic performance of just sheer poise. That was the definition of the night. Before the knockout, it was nothing but poise. That's what it was. This cat going against Jen Sasaki, who again, mind you, was indeed a powerful threat in this division. Brian Norman Jr. was going through and was so calm, even against the reckless and dangerous power that we saw Jen Sasaki use on him and against every other opponent we've seen Jen Sasaki go up against. He was able to forget weather in the storm, but he controlled the weather. Let's be completely honest. This cat was able to go through and guide Sasaki to do everything that he wanted to do. Simply being able to take small steps back and counter with that check hook multiple times over, landing with the straight right, landing with the uppercut, whatever punch that he wanted to land on the likes of Jen Sasaki, he was able to do it with the greatest of ease. He was able to do it with no issue whatsoever. He fought like he knew what Sasaki was going to do before he did it. We've talked about this with Inoue before, and it's a hard skill to do, but we saw Norman do it on this morning. Norman was punching Jen Sasaki before Sasaki got the punch off. That's insane. That's ridiculous. This cat was punching and countering Sasaki before Sasaki even was able to throw the left hook or throw the right hook or throw any hook for that matter. He was beating that brother to the punch on the white. Forget the follow through and forget just matching him with sheer speed. Brother, he was catching him on the initial wind-up. Just the sheer contraction leading to expansion. He was catching him before he could even follow through. It was insane. It was ridiculous. Sorry, Ortiz was ancient mummy. Hey, no, look, we're just talking about the destructive nature that Ortiz got caught with after controlling the entirety of the fight and getting hit with one punch that outright ended the show. One clean shot. We get the age and all that stuff, understandable. Ortiz at that point in time was still a big threat, but again, that's a whole other conversation. Main point is, Wilder put that brother out with one straight right hand. One shot that had him stiff as a board. Ridiculous. Insane. Ortiz got up and was hitting the canvas, talking about, brother, how did I get here on the ground? And how did I get caught with the same thing again? He was frustrated. That's what I'm talking about. This was that type of shot. And Jen Sasaki was unresponsive for nearly 3 minutes. Not moving. I'm talking about not a doggone thing. This cat's eyes were shut. He was in a comatose state. Oh, it was ridiculous. And and I'm gonna tell you this. Norman showed he's gotten better. My gosh. Brian, no, brother, this cat just showed he got so much better in such a short amount of time. This cat's only 24 years old. He is still one of the youngest champions in all of boxing right now. This man is fighting. Forget beyond his years, brother. He is fighting beyond his eras. I'm gonna be real. What he showed tonight, brother, he's fighting beyond his era. He forget just fighting wise. He's fighting like a callback to the old days. I'm talking no regard for human life, as well as being able to go through and systematically dismantle what's in front of him with such ease, calmness, and a wide variety of offenses. That just, oh my goodness, shoot. It's something to behold. Let me see, okay, I can now say after this KO that I agree Norman is a bigger name than my boy Blair Fleck. See? Hey, look, hey. It took a minute. It took a minute, but let me tell you something. There was any trepidation of who was bigger before. Brother, I felt that Norman was bigger than Blair Cobb. Again, no disrespect to Blair Cobb, but I felt it. But there were levels to this notoriety game. I promise you this. Ain't no question who's bigger now. Brother, Blair the Flair, I love you. You ain't what I want to see next with boots. This cat, Brian Norman, this is a brother that I want to see with boots. Mind you, this brother knocked out was it Stelina? Giovanni Stelina? In a, I'm not gonna call it similar, but in a somewhat mirrored, destructive one-punch manner. That really, this fight put a stamp on what I've been feeling about Norman for a while. This cat, we know he was the number one threat. Absolutely. But there was an inkling in the back of my mind when it came to Boots Ennis that I've been looking to say for the longest time, is it valid or is it not? And shoot, also, hey, Bowie, let's see what you got. Also, happy Juneteenth, man. Keep up the good work, brother. Excuse me, happy Juneteenth to you, brother. Keep up the good work. Hey, man, appreciate it. Happy Juneteenth to you and everybody around the state, shoot, around the world at this point. We don't care. We're celebrating all around, all four corners of the globe. Hey, it's a celebration. We're going to have a good time. Nonetheless, and happy Juneteenth to you. Hey, we going to rep it. We going to rep it. Hey, we's free. That's we. So we're going to celebrate that most definitely. But when, to real quick, because let's get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Norman and Boots, brother, let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We need to discuss it. Because let me tell you something right now. There has been an inkling in the back of my mind that there was going to be somebody that was going to, I didn't know where it was going to come. I was assumed it would be the higher weight classes, the Virgil Ortiz, the Bowachucks, but somebody was going to come through and test that chin of Boots. More importantly, take advantage, though he's gotten better, he's gotten leagues better, but taking advantage of the legitimate instances of Boots relying on his chin to take some punishment and getting hit with some shots that oftentimes I feel he shouldn't get hit with. I've been saying for a couple years, if he didn't fix that, somebody's going to tag him. And as much of a beast as he is, as a boxer and a physical specimen, with a great chin to boot, brother, ain't nobody impenetrable. And I promise you, somebody sooner or later is going to come down the line and be like, that's the one. That's the cat. That's the brother that can do it. That's the man that, yeah, he's that it guy that can make Boots pay. Boots has gotten better, no question about it. He's fixed some of those issues. We gave him his respect, no question. But, brother man, I'll tell you what right now. Norman just showed up and he said he's that guy. Norman just showed he's that guy. This brother just showed he's that guy. If there was any doubt now as to whether or not Norman actually could give Boots a level of real run, a level of real danger, beyond just the, physical gifts, yes, the power and all that stuff. This fight, he showed me something serious. He can be that one. He can definitely be that one that can, if they do fight, hypothetically, at 147, before we even get to the Virgil Ortizes and Bo Chucks and others at 154 and beyond. He can do it. I'm telling you he can do it. I'm not saying he will. Not saying he will. But my gosh, the stamp of approval of yes, he can. It's there. It's there now more than ever. But let me keep on reading what you all got to say. Aaron, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks. Oh, yes, indeed. Thanks for tuning into the show. Glad to see that you are here. What you got to say as a Dev fan? I'd say one more fight before you fight Brian Norman. I can be honest. Okay, I respect that. Devin not going to go toe-to-toe with Norman. Just says Jay Riggs. Of course, why would he? I'd say he needs another fight to even step in that ring. Let's talk. In fact, hold on. Let me do what I was gonna do. And I think did it say? Dang it didn't save. But I had a third topic for this thing. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up, and we can do it right now. There we go. Yep, we good. We good now. Norman versus everybody, brother. Right now, let's be 100% honest. Right now, this is the Brian Norman show at this point in time, and we are gauging this brother against every single form of apropos competition going this way. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Oh my gosh. Oh, we gotta have this now. We have to, because at 154, mind you, let's not forget at all the division of 154. Oh shoot. But it hasn't just gained some new level of life and breath. On top of the fluctuations of Boots versus everybody at 147, which right now, news seems to be, as confirmed by Norman in the ring, Boots is moving up to 154. So hey, we're gonna still talk about whether or not Boots is in fact ducking or not ducking Brian Norman. We're gonna talk about it. But right now, Boots potentially is out the equation of 154 at least. If Brian stays at 147, well, you got Tio, you got Haney, you got Ryan Garcia, you got the likes of Barrios, you got Manny Pacquiao, you got Stanionis, you have, in fact, I will pull up the entire rankings right now to give you a full comprehensive look as to what exactly we're dealing with when it comes to this division right now, and it's a hefty thing. But I'm gonna tell you this. There's a couple names that maybe it's just recency biased. I'll give it to you. But there's a strong inkling that there's some people that I feel right now you don't need to fight. If you're certain boxers going up against the likes of Brian Norman, there's some threats that people should not step in the ring with if you going up against Brian Norman or if you're looking to be an opponent. And I can't lie. Devin Haney might be one of them. He might. He might be one of them. I can't deny that. I can't deny that. He might be one. Devin, brother, Devin Haney. Look, I respect him. I have, as much as we have critiqued him, which rightfully so, I have consistently said that this was not how he normally fights. Going up against Jose Ramirez. We understand that. We've seen him fight against Kambosos 2 times. We've seen him fight against Lomachenko. We've seen him against other boxers. We've seen him against Progress. This fight with Jose Ramirez is a terrible reflection of the actual talent that Devin Haney has to offer. The question still is whether or not this is in fact the Devin Haney that is here to stay. That's a whole nother conversation. But in terms of just outright competitive fervor, I am guaranteeing you from my perspective, Devin Haney does not want a thing, not a doggone thing, to do with the likes of Brian Norman Jr. or Boots Ennis. Anybody, any of them, both of them. Don't do it. If you're Devin Haney, don't do it. I'm saying this without the performance of Jose Ramirez. Don't do it if you're Devin Haney. I'm so serious. Don't fight him. Not now. But I respect you need to get in the ring, get another fight. But the way Devin Haney looks right now, he needs maybe 3 against what we just saw Norman do. Because you have to understand, I don't know what Devin Haney's going to be able to do with his boxing ability to keep that type of size and power and athletic ability off of him when it comes to Brian Norman Jr. or Boots Ennis. I don't. I really don't. That's been the biggest critique of Devin Haney. But you get somebody with some athletic gifts that are similar to you in speed or power or all around both as well, with a frame that got popped and can take your punishment and can keep up with you and your footwork. That is your biggest kryptonite. We've been saying that for roughly over a year. If somebody can match you physically, they take away half of what your game plan is to be able to beat an opponent. This cat got all that and now got power to boot. But he was eating shots from Sasaki. He was eating shots from one of the biggest punchers in that division. And calm like he was going through a Sunday stroll before knocking out somebody who, by proxy of his own chin in Sasaki, has been able to be as extravagant in his chances of taking ludicrous opportunities when standpoint of offensive hooks and reckless ability. He's been able to get away with it because genuinely Sasaki's tough and strong and unorthodox to some degree. This brother put him to sleep. I kid you not. Devin Haney, not Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. may have just genuinely shortened the career of Jin Sasaki. And I don't say that lightly. With how detrimental that knockout was, the amount of recovery on top of who knows what's going to happen afterwards. Lord willing, everything's okay and he's back to 100%, absolutely. But we've seen knockouts like that change fighters. We've seen them shorten careers. We've seen knockouts like that shift the mindset of a boxer. We've seen it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying that's the level of destruction and the potential after effects of said destruction that we saw this brother do against one of the more tough individuals in the division. Devin Haney ain't, brother, don't say that he can stand up to the power. Because if Ryan Garcia can knock you down as much as he did, PED, sure, fine. Brian Norman Jr., objectively, on a baseline, got more power than him. More power than him. Better boxer than him. Also, length, strength, reach, all that. That's a brother if I'm Devin Haney, if I'm Bill Haney, I am not looking for Brian Norman Jr. Not because I'm trying to duck smoke, but that is a horrible matchup. If I'm looking as an outside proponent, I'm not trying to disrespect Devin Haney, but I'm not going to be ignorant of what I'm seeing and what I saw and what I know Devin Haney won't be able to take advantage of. Yes, Sasaki is not as great of a technical boxer as Devin Haney, absolutely. But there's nothing that Devin Haney can do to keep Norman off of him. What can he do? He can't clinch up because he'll get out muscle. He can't jab with him because he'll get countered. He can't try to work to the body like he did with Lomachenko. He'll get beat to Kingdom Come. If he tries to stay on the outside, the ring will get cut off. And the physicality of Norman will be able to control Devin Haney. And the poise of offense is going to be a lot better. Oh, yes, it will. And if this is the level of timing and predispose, essentially reacting before you react, beating you to the punch at the moment that you think to throw, like we saw him do against Jin Sasaki all night long. Shoot, brother. But I'm telling you, this ain't disrespect. It's just it's an honest opinion. You ain't got to agree. But shoot, man, Devin Haney, don't do it. Do not do it. Go after Rolly. Go after rematch Ryan. Go after T.O. Shoot, again. I don't care. Don't go after, don't do it. Because shoot, man. That's a tall that Norman not going to bang. Norman not going to bang with Bochuk or Ortiz. I can't say that for sure. I can't say that for sure because it's more than just a knockout. It's everything he showed in this fight. But he has at 154, if he is able to be this also, he can give them trouble too. I'm so serious. I'm a diehard Devin Haney fan, but I speak facts, y'all. Norman is that dude. Hey, look, we are not trying to hate on Devin Haney or anybody else in the division. We just recognize that talent is there when it's there. We have to. We got to give respect where respect is due, and talk about said respect in the right respect. This is the right respect. There's just some people that just people shouldn't do. Devin is slick fighter with pillow hands. Is not going to stop Norman from throwing everything but the kitchen sink. He also won't be able to box with his feet the same way. He won't. He won't be able to. He won't be able to clinch up like he would do to try to negate the physical ability of Norman to impose his will. He won't be able to use his jab the same way to outbox or keep Norman at bay. He won't. Now, even the stab jab isn't a legitimate viable option for Haney. Because, brother, look at what happened when Sasaki tried to throw it. The brother got put in a coma. With a left hook, shoot, that left hook, I'm telling you. That was one of the meanest left hooks I've ever seen. That was one of the meanest left hooks I've ever seen. Insane. And that was off of a parry of a stab jab to the body by Jin Sasaki. One of Devin Haney's more affluent options in his offense to keep himself safe. That's not even safe anymore against Brian Norman Jr. I'm telling you, this man, he's evolving. But I think Devin beats Shakur. Now, that's interesting. That's actually interesting. I got to think about that fight. I got to think about that fight. I can't lie. Let me see. Riz, I agree, fam. I'm not delusional. Hey, no problem. It's all good. Again, we're fine with people, having fandom. Absolutely. Be who you want to be. Support who you want to support. We're just trying to keep it a buck. We're trying to keep it 100. Let me not say keep it a buck, because that's a whole other podcast. And I ain't trying to get copyrighted from them. They good dudes, absolutely. But we're trying to keep it 100. We're trying to keep it real. We have to here. And so it's like, man, this fight, this just sent ripple effect. Haney won't fight him unless it's a 24-by-24 ring. Brother, you ain't wrong. Also for sure, how you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Glad that you coming back. Absolutely. Yes, sir, but I try to look out both views. Yep, that's what we do here on the channel. With a lot of our commenters, we do that same thing as well. They asking a lot of Haney, man. Yeah, they are. They like you. These types of names, they gonna be there. Like Haney still got to run through them. Because he's in that division. He's going to be, if he moves up to 147 officially, he's in that title pick. Like he is. He's in that picture now. This is his comp. That's the thing. We're not talking about Devin Haney in a negative light just to poo-poo on him. This is his competition. There's no longer a hypothetical when it comes to Devin Haney of who will he fight. He's here. He's at 154. Or excuse me, at 147, excuse me. He's here. Unless he's fighting at a catch weight again. But he's here now. This is his domain now. So we got to call a spade, brother. If this is what you're doing, they're asking a lot, yes. But at the same time, a lot's required. If this is your weight class now, 147, let me see. Let somebody else die in the ring, fam. Let him fight WBC. Hey, brother, it's a lot of danger ahead. That's all I can say. They hate Dev, so they want him to end his career with Norman. Nah, man, I got love for Dev that much. I'm a fighter. Stand down, cut. For right now, don't look for now. Let's give credit where credit is due, brother. We know as well. Devin hasn't ducked any test. Let's give props. When it comes to Devin Haney, the brother's never ducked a soul. He ain't. He signed with T.O., he signed with Loma, he signed with Ryan Garcia. He wanted to fight with Tank, but never actually got it. He fought Progress moving up in the first weight class and rocked the brother. He has been one of the biggest staples and role models of what it means to be a warrior in every sense of the word. He didn't get to Undisputed by just doing nothing. But he fought Kambosos directly after Kambosos beat Tio in Australia. And then beat him again in Australia. He's gone to enemy territory and home territory. He has faced off against a litany of legitimately great names. He's got one of the best resumes at 135 and 140, 147. Within that range of weight classes and amongst his immediate peers, Tio, Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Tank, Tio, Ryan, and Tank, with him being amongst that four king popularity class. He's got the best resume out of just about all of them, only rivaled by Tio. He does. And so he ain't ducking smoke. So if he takes this fight, it's not out of pocket, because that's what he does. Let's be real. That's what he does. That's what he's been doing. I just hope he doesn't do it. I hope he doesn't, because it's going to be a dangerous task. Ryan, Tio, let them get some. Hey, look, Tank, let him get in. Norman, Tank ain't fighting that kid. Hey, Tank ain't fighting. Throw that out the window. Tank ain't. Tank, look, we can shut that down. We can shut that down right now. Tank ain't fighting. Forget that. Brother, forget that. If after this, just by proxy of Norman being 7 pounds from 140, I guarantee you Boots or Tank won't bother moving up to 145, 147 or 140 anymore. If this is what's just within the far vicinity, you forget that. If Tank got in the ring with Brian Norman Jr., but do you know the amount of props I would give that brother with how he's been going through with his track record for his career? If he actually, you know, I'm changing the title of this episode, because right now it fits the script. We got to make some changes. We do, because this show, it's insane. But if he did take a chance and fight him, the amount of respect I have for Tank will go through the roof. If he took this chance, it will go through the roof. No question. Sorry, Devin. Devin messed himself on the. Devin shot himself in the foot, suing and running on his comeback fight. I just hope the next fight he does go out banging, and I promise he would get his respect. The whole issue with Devin is he brought this on himself to some degree by all of what he did in and outside the ring, from Ryan Garcia to Ramirez. It's a bad position he was in. Getting beat like he got beat, then Ryan Garcia popping dirty. Absolutely. Ryan Garcia got punished. You went and pushed it beyond what it should have been. Not because Ryan Garcia didn't deserve punishment, but now you were doing everything except for what you needed to do, which was aim to get it back in blood the best way that you can, and prepping yourself for a rematch to show people, yeah, this was a fluke. The way you went about that whole saga and then ended it with this fight with Ramirez made everybody see you, or everybody validate their feelings about you as what they had predisposed on you, in lieu of the lawsuits that you were given to Ryan Garcia. You're punk. You don't really want smoke. That was the stigma. And the fight with Ramirez, playing it so safe that you didn't try to do anything that we've seen you do against Kambosos, let alone that we've seen you do against Lomachenko, Jorge Linares, and other champions. You fought in no way, shape, or form remotely close to what Devin Haney that we've seen you fight for the whole of your career. It was so abhorrently against what we know you as that it was like, yep, you change. You change for the worse. You let yourself fall this far. Your mentality as a fighter shifted, and your fighting style in the ring now matched what your perceived bad mentality was perpetuating. And so, boom, everybody latched onto it. Yep, that's what you are. No, that's not how he always fights. It's not how he always fights. It's not. But now this is indicative of maybe this is who you are now. And that's where it gets problematic. And he lost a lot of respect for a lot of people. Understandably so. Not because we are trying to just hate on Haney, but because it's, to a degree, it's a grave that he dug of his own volition. I can't lie. And so, let me see. Let him get respect. He's still alive. To see it, Norman, is nasty work. He got a new fan. Hey, brother. This cat just got paid. This brother just got paid. He about to make bank now. Because now he is not just a champion. Brother, he is now box office. He's box office. To a wide majority. Anybody who didn't get up at 4 in the morning is now willing to get up at 4 in the morning to watch a Brian Norman Jr. fight. He successfully changed what people are willing to do to see that brother or to see him for the better, which is great. He's undeniable now. He is recognizable now, which is phenomenal. Yeah, Norman good, but I think T.O. gets him power. Now, I want to touch back on this. Let me keep on reading through, but I want to touch back on this. Absolutely. Let's see, his dad needs to sit this one out and not talk his son into a slow death. Hey, Bill Haney, if he's as smart as he says he is, he will not pursue. He won't. If he does, hey, all right, you want the smoke, come get it. You want the smoke, come get it. But hope and pray he don't do that. Norman eats at 140. Norman eats at the 140, going at 147 fighters. Right now, it's looking. If you are not at that weight class, my gosh, it's going to be incredibly tough. Oh shoot, it's going to be hard to beat that cat moving up. If you moving up, beating from what we see right now with Norman, you moving up in weight. My goodness, brother, you asking for something serious to take on that type of test. Coming up to 147 right now. That's insane. We real boxing fans person, respect fighter safety. Norman is the new Marvin Hagler skating involved. Now, you know what? I get it. He fights with no regard for human life. That's what it is. That's what it is. He fights with no regard for human life. To quote Kevin Harlan from his dunk with J.R. Smith. That's what it is. That's what makes him so scary. But this man was bowing to the crowd while Sasaki was laying dead, lifeless on the canvas. Sasaki had yet to move. His arm just touched the canvas after about 10 seconds of it being stuck in the air because he was completely unconscious and knocked out. By the time Norman had finished bowing, that hand finally hit the ground. But this man was laying flat and prone like a chalk outline on an NCIS episode. I'm expecting Ice-T to come through with Ant-Man's shoe. Shooting another commercial, another dead body. Who could have done it this time? My gosh, it's a mystery. He's out and about again. Somebody else got put on a poster. That's what I was expecting to see happen. It was that diabolical, and that was the post. It was so ridiculous. It was so insane. Bochuck is the Terminator, and Bochuck is the Terminator. Ortiz Wild, the poor guy. Both of them right now are incredible threats at 154, no question. If we're talking about Norman fighting them, honestly, hold on. It's shoot, man. Norman just shot himself into a stratosphere that there is nobody at 147 or at 154 that I can't say he wouldn't be or couldn't be. Excuse me, not wouldn't be. That implies its finality. There's nobody within his weight class at 154 that I'm now able to concretely say he can't be. I'm not saying it will. But there was a threshold that he hadn't reached yet that I felt he wasn't going to be able to reach up until later on down the line. Lo and behold, I was dead wrong. And brother, he reached that threshold now. The floodgates are open for who this cat can be. And we're going to break down the individual names. Let me go through the rest of the chat. Because we got a lot of people chat. Let me read through the rest of the chats and quickly go through them. And then we can break down individually and debate who can and can't beat Brian Norman, fluctuating between 147 and 154. But let me read these chats real quick. Let me see. Aaron, we all agree Welch report. Give Dave love. Give Devin love. And step aside, no one will hate you. Yeah, I completely understand it. Shakur, nasty work too. Yeah, I completely get that as well. Sasaki had Bambi legs from the start. His punches were just push and punch. And it's like Sasaki's, here's the thing. Sasaki's punches were like legitimately thudding. There was a time, there was one point in the fight, Sasaki caught Norman clean. And I'm not saying Norman buckled or got shooken up, but he for a couple seconds, Norman had to take a little bit of inventory and tighten up his defense just a little bit. Because the power that was coming from Sasaki was indeed real. But then once he adjusted and got comfortable, he was able to take it with ease. And still walk down Sasaki. Let's understand, this wasn't just a backpedaling, countering, and leading Sasaki into shots, but he was walking down Sasaki too. He would walk that brother down while still boxing beautifully and knocked him out. That's what makes this even more impressive. He did it both ways. He did it both ways, beating him so soundly. It's insane. It really is insane. Let's see. Now what you cooking and Bree G, a great analyst. I think that is that Bring? Was that Bree? Is that another commentator? I'm not sure. I'm assuming you're saying and being a great analyst. I'm assuming if I'm stepping over the line, hey, my apologies. I don't want to think too highly of myself. I'm just a lowly, humble entertainer. But I appreciate the support. I really do. And I'm glad y'all are liking what we got going on. And I'm glad y'all are liking what we hear. I'm glad we stayed up. I'm glad we got up. I'm glad I got the day right. I'm going to give you that. I thought this fight was going to be tomorrow. Lo and behold, brother, I almost missed the knockout. I almost missed somebody for sure who was commenting, but he tuned in right at the knockout. He didn't get to see nothing but the knockout. Talk about a wake-up call at what, 7 in the morning? Oh, ridiculous. Absolutely insane. But let me see, funny I said Haney had no options for a pay-per-view fight again, but I think Norman versus Haney would... hey, look, Riggs, you're trying to kill him. You're trying to kill him. You were trying to kill this man. Yes, it will do huge numbers. But we've said it before. One of the biggest proponents as to why Devin Haney is still a major pay-per-view draw, even with him being on the downtrend of popularity, is because people want to see him knocked out. It would do huge pay-per-view numbers. Because the amount of money that people would pay to watch Devin Haney get put to sleep clean, without any drugs in the system. Oh my gosh. One of the gripes about Teofimo Lopez was that, hey man, people want to see Tio put Haney to sleep. Or excuse me, people want to see Devin put to sleep. And people want to see Tio get knocked out. And now we knew Devin wasn't going to be able to knock out Tio. And we knew Tio would knock out Devin. But there were also fans that hate Tio because of all the racist rhetoric he has said over the course of months to Terrence Crawford, Keyshawn Davis, Tank, a bunch of other people. Absolutely. And so it was a lose-lose situation all around. People were still going to pay money for that fight. We were still saying it was going to be one of the biggest fights of the year. Brother, this fight would make bank strictly because everybody get ready. Because the thing we want to happen, and not by we, I mean a plethora of the boxing public, not me. I'm trying to be an unbiased commentator, but a plethora of the boxing public want to see Devin Haney put down, not put out, put down. I'm talking done away with. What we saw. Well, let me not clap. This is more of a destructive thing. What we saw Jen Sasaki get done to him by Norman is what people want to see Norman do to Boots, or not Norman do to Boots, Norman do to Devin Haney, or anybody do Devin Haney for that matter. That's why they're paying money to see him. It's sad, but it's the truth. People want to see him get knocked out. If you want that, hey, make the fight with Norman. But brother, Jay Riggs, you trying to end this brother. Oh gosh, oh that's detrimental. Oh, that's horrible. Oh shoot, that's some dangerous work. I tell you what. Let me keep on. Let me see. Love you, channel fam. Hey man, I love you all too, and I appreciate all of you coming in and supporting. I'm trying to make sure I got the title right so we can get as much people in as possible. Because my goodness, I tell you, if there was any show that everybody should be tuning into, this is the one. Oh gosh, this is the one. If you would, leave a like on the stream because it helps push the algorithm to get this show out to the masses. And we can get more people involved in this conversation because this is a conversation that needs to be had. No question about it. But let me keep on reading. At the same time, Devin got away with 2 lucky wins and 1 robbery. Look, everybody gets 1. Everybody gets a couple in some cases. So it's like that bleeds into why people want to have Devin Haney get knocked out because they feel like this brother's gotten away with some wins that he shouldn't have won, like with Lomachenko. But off the backs of all that resentment against Haney, because there's a lot of people that they really are haters of Haney, genuine. They will, this will be their Christmas. This will be they'll put some, they'll take off of work. They make this happen, brother. They'll take off of work to see this. I guarantee you, they will clock out. Well, they'll walk out in some cases to see this fight happen. If we got Norman versus Haney, just because they want to see Haney get put to sleep, I promise you. Because now that they saw what Norman did to Sasaki, they say, buddy, you can do even worse to Haney. And I guarantee you, they want to see that fight just to see Haney potentially get destroyed. I hope that don't happen because, buddy, that'll be insane. Yo, Franklin Zana, what's good with there? How you doing? Thanks. Hey, for tuning into the show. We appreciate you coming in on this afternoon. Sasaki had a bad game plan from the start. He was trying to stand in the pocket for too long. Sasaki, more so, dug his own grave because Sasaki kept on throwing that left hook that Norman was able to get out of range with. Sasaki's, and again, if you were earlier in the show, I had said that Sasaki had always been a reckless fighter. I tried to warn y'all. Sasaki's reckless. He'll goad, he'll talk to you, he'll do all this. He's reckless. His game plan, though, is that recklessness leads to his offense being so demonstrative. He was trying to land on Norman. He had some early success. Some. But once Norman adjusted afterwards, Sasaki wasn't able to land those hooks because Norman would be able to just back out the way with his great athleticism and poise and just ability to read and react. It was beautiful boxing. If Sasaki had feinted, worked his way on the inside without just throwing naked, more so, threw some throwaway jabs, stopped throwing that stab jab to the body that I warned y'all he was gonna get caught with if he didn't stop. Lo and behold, got knocked out because of it. And just simply looked to feint his way. Pump fake his way to making Norman over-anticipate a counter and throw. And then attack with that uppercut to the body that was indeed a great punch. One of Sasaki's best punches on the night. Once he got in range and once he got Norman on the ropes, that could have been a league's better game plan to at least help him have some level of success. Instead of risking himself being in that mid-range area. And if he misses on one of them hooks, he was going to get countered like he kept getting countered all night long. And I was waiting. There was going to be a time, brother, one of them hooks, when I was feeling it. One of these shots, brother, he keeps missing the distance and trying to lunge in when he's way too far out. One of these things is going to get him, and lo and behold, he got him. And so Lennar should have won with Huggins to survive both rounds at the knockdown. Ryan got overturned in Loma robbery. So, like I said before, I told you, there's some strong opinions on Devin Haney and his resume. I promise you that. If anybody steps in the ring with this black man, they get props. He got nasty work. He got nasty work after this fight. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh he is a looming storm. He's literally storming Norman. He is literally storming Norman. That's his nickname, Storming Brian Norman. If that ain't what we calling him before, that's what we calling him now. Storming Brian Norman. Because this cat is a torrential downpour. He is a violent storm that right now is looking to sweep through the rest of the division and clash with another hurricane in the likes of Jerron Ennis down the line. Hopefully next. Hopefully, my gosh. If there was any more point to see that fight, it's now. I'm more excited for that Boots fight now more than ever. And so let me see. Haney, the Haney who fought Linares and JoJo was nice and fan friendly. It was even better. It was a better fighter. That fighter, those fighters, the Lomachenko, Haney, the Lomachenko version of Haney, the Parkway version of Haney, the Linares version, any of these versions, those are truer instances of Devin Haney that we know, that we respect, that we called one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world. We called him that. We did. We called him that. He was on the list for good reason. He was undisputed for good reason. This ain't the same guy. He's not the same guy. After the backlash of fighting Linares, Haney had no choice but to be the bad guy. And did I not warn you all? Everybody ain't built for that. Everybody ain't built for that. I'm telling you, everybody is not built for that. And Devin Haney is a rude awakening, brother. This is what you gotta deal with. And on top of that, hey, now that he is the villain, if he does ever get in the vicinity of Norman, he can't get away. Or else it's going to be even more detrimental. Because now they're going to use that bravado of which we loved, of fighting everybody possible, which he has done. All the biggest names, he's fought. He has. There's no question about it. But now that's going to be expectation that as a villain, hey brother, if you think you are that in a bag of chips, go fight Norman. He's there. Go fight him. And now that bravado is going to betray him. Because now he's going to be forced to be put in a situation. Now I'm not saying he can't win. But my gosh, it's a hard-pressed thing to say that it's possible as of right now. I respected him as a fan. Then JoJo Linares fight, he was letting his hands go, wobbled or not. Yes, he was. I respect Norman, get that back king, absolutely. I didn't get to watch it, but I was listening to your commentary while driving at work. Hey, hopefully I made you feel like it was right in the center of the fight. Shoot, man. I'm telling you, it was so action-packed. I tried to give as much detailed punch-by-punch blow as possible because it was it was ridiculous. It was insane, that fight. Hopefully, if you get to rewatch it, you're going to see exactly what I was describing because it was great work. You had to watch it. He threw hands, was quick and taking chances. Yes, he was. Let's see, I don't know Pitbull and that Mexican, I think Oscar Duarte ain't a push-up. No, they ain't a push-up. They really ain't. They really ain't no Ice-T fact. Oh yeah, going off the Ice-T comment, absolutely. I agree, watch pay-per-view just to see Haney get retired. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I promise you. That's how everyone was towards Mayweather. But Mayweather could actually back up the hate with success. Now, I'm not saying Haney hasn't done that as of right now. But the road ahead for Haney, that's where he's not going to be able to sustain it. This is where the villain role takes its toll. Because once you do lose, there's a level of shine and a level of care that fans now lose because they got what they wanted. You lost. You got beat. Why do you think that after Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury, it took such a big hit on his momentum? And I can't stand Jake Paul as a fighter, but I can't deny that the brother was winning and he was getting hate watched by millions. But the second he lost to Tommy Fury, all that momentum, dust in the wind. that went away just like that. At the snap of your fingers, gone. It took him getting mega fights with some of the most well-known combat sports athletes in history, past their prime, for spectacles untold that shouldn't have happened at all, to get him back on the train of relevancy. And if Jake Paul loses again, like if Jake Paul loses against, what's his name? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., it's done. Gone. No more. People just want to see him beat. And once he's beat soundly, in a way that satisfies the audience, we're done. Devin Haney was almost in that same vein when he lost to Ryan Garcia before the PEDs. He was in that boat. I'm the villain. Everybody hates me. I got beat up the kingdom. I got up. Devin Haney got up. All credit. He got up every time. But, buddy, you got beat as soundly as everybody would have wanted to see you get beat, who didn't like you, who were paying to see you get beat. And then now, if that fight had been clean, Devin Haney, gone. We would have been saying, you ain't a real champion. You got beat. Though Ryan Garcia missed weight, but that belt ain't yours. That's what the public would have been saying. You are now, bye-bye. You versus T.O., T.O.'s going to win. Why even have that fight? Devin Haney versus the Brooklyn T.S. Now, oh my gosh, Devin Haney, people going to say you're going to lose that fight. Most of the division at 140 at that point in time. If that loss is stuck with Ryan Garcia, gone. All that. Bill Haney, gone. Devin Haney, gone. From the standpoint of outright hype, would have been gone. I promise you. The hate, if you rely on hate, you got to win. You have to win. You can be beloved, lose, and still make bank. But if you are hated and you get beat in a satisfying manner, that's it. For a big chunk of what your star power is, that's done. You're still a big competitor. You're still a big name. But that shine that got you where you were, that's gone. Because now we've been satisfied. On to the next one. That's what we're going to say. That's what a lot of people will say. But let me see. But hey, even the old Mayweather had that pop to make your head snap back. He had that sharp. I'm not saying he had power, but he had some sharpness to him he had speed that equated to power. Because his ability to like a viper, like a whip, just go through it and tag you with the jab as quick as lightning. It was insane. It was ridiculous. Or with any shot for that matter. Let me see. Devin needs to sit down on his punches. He does not commit. When Mayweather older had crack and stinging punches. It was honestly, Oku versus Abe. We were watching that fight. If you didn't get to see it, which was the I think second to last fight. No, the third fight on the card. Excuse me, the second fight on the card. My apologies. We were saying that about Oku. Oku was restraining his punches and not fully committing. He lost the fight, but once it hit round, 7 and 8, and he started actually following through fully with his shots, all of a sudden was having some real success. And actually rocked Abe, finally, because he had more power. And he could have done some great work if he didn't restrain or pull back on his punches when he was a more powerful puncher. Haney, honestly, he does commit to his shots. He does. It's just now the concern is he doesn't throw them often. That's the issue. He just doesn't throw. With what we've seen most recently, he just doesn't throw. That's the issue. More so than just the movement. He doesn't throw. If you're moving like that and you don't throw at all, that is not boxing. That is problematic. That is not the sweet science. That's not the sweet science. That's the problem. Peter Flow was knockout artist that had hands, got fragile. And I think his father also had fragile hands as well. And he got smart, and caution turned into Money Mayweather. Yeah, you ain't lying. Yep, I'm 53. I saw Pretty Boy clap cats. Well, Diego Corrales. Put him down. All right, I think, was it Gotti that he knocked down and beat? What what was it about it? Ricky Hatton knocked him down, had him going into the pillar, going into the corner, tumbling into the ring. Ridiculous. Oh, he had some pop. He was, brother, if he had kept his pop, if he didn't have the generational fragile hands as his father, how much better would Floyd have been? Oh my gosh. That's what's crazy to think about. Genuine. That's crazy. Devin needs to stay. He got mental issues and baby mom drama. Yeah, I think he got some drama outside the ring, but more so inside the ring. He mentally has to get to a point where he is not he's not overthinking to the point that he's compromising what he is as a fighter. Because right now, that's what's going on. Is it? Right now, that's what's going on. And in fact, a perfect example. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick to give you a sense of Let me come on. Where's that? No, not that. Talk on it. Hold on. Wait. There's a clip. I think Showbiz the Adult, another boxing podcast who's doing great work, had a full-blown interview with essentially a pop-up interview that nobody really expected with Bill Haney himself. And he was questioned on a plethora of things, but more importantly, he was questioned on the question on him as his cornerman advice to the likes of Devin Haney in that fight with Jose Ramirez. And I think, I'm gonna play. Can I find a clip? Is this the clip? I want to say this is the clip. Hold on. I want to say this is a clip.
Put to sleep where you told him to be safe.
Is this the clip?
And number two, Bill, you told him to stay away from Ramirez, and with his footwork,
there we go. Yeah. Yes, here it is.
He would have beat the hell out
I was just making sure I had the clip right. Let me get the old picture up, and I can show you all exactly what I mean. I was just doing a quick check to make sure it was the right.
He ran around.
It was the right.
Devin Haney is
right
better
one.
Than you allow him to be.
Also, if you're here, please leave a like on the stream. Please do. It's a great help to the channel, and it would be great, phenomenal to go through
and thank you
build this channel up. Absolutely, you can't do it without your support. And hey, if you want to support the channel, we got means. If you like what you hear and you want to keep the lights on and help this show go bigger and better, to invest back in the show, Cash App, PayPal, and links are in the description also to give whatever you can afford if you want to give. If you can do it, mean the world to me. If you do give,
you know what I mean?
Put it in the chat.
You're his father, bro. You don't want your son hurt.
We ain't got no chat, so let's just pop up right now. Once we get those watch hours, we're gonna make it happen, and we'll be able to pop it up and do all that stuff. But we covered that before. But you know what we're trying to do. But let's go. Let's get back into the topic of the show, which is picture. No, that ain't. Oh, no, that ain't. Hold on. No, stop. No, not the intro. Wrong one. There we go. Okay, we back now. So here's the interview. Real quick, this is the clip.
So my thing was
Devin Haney.
Showbiz talking to Bill Haney, discussing what Bill Haney gave him as cornerman advice for that fight with Jose Ramirez.
Devin Haney. Is better than you allowing him to be. He would have knocked out Pro Gray and put his ass to sleep. I need to see your facial expression.
Full disclaimer, excuse the language. I'm sorry. Trying to still be sponsor friendly in the future. So, excuse the language, viewer discretion advised, all that other stuff that they do on TV to give you fair warning. But here you go.
Bill, I need to see your facial expression. He would have knocked out Program, put his ass to sleep when you told him to be safe. And number two, Bill, you told him to stay away from Ramirez. And with his footwork and with his abilities, Bill, he would have beat the hell out of Ramirez the way Floyd did Gotti. Instead, under your advice, he ran around and put up a shitty fight. Devin Haney is better than you allow him to be. That's how I feel.
Thank you for your compliment. And thank you for maybe and thank you for maybe pointing out the reservations that a coach of my intellect and my experience will qualify for. You know what I mean? I can only take credit for the decision that I made and the game plan, and Devin to follow it. You know what I'm saying? I
I
got to
get that.
stand up on that. You know what I mean?
Get that.
And the
You're
fact
his,
that
you're his father, bro. You don't want your son hurt. I
no,
get
no,
that.
not.
But
It's just
sometimes
not even hurt. It's not just hurt that for a year we ran a narrative that Dev, what about the left hook? What about the left hook? Right? A year of the narrative. Now, if Devin had gotten brushed with a left hook, we would say that if it was Ryan Garcia, it would have been different. If it was Teofimo Lopez, if it was Tank, if it was whoever, would have been different. So my thing was to quiet the noise and bring confidence to a fighter that I know that needs confidence because of everybody that's trying to um to get in his head. I said, okay, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna pitch a shutout. You're going to know and believe that if you do not want to get hit with nothing, you do not get hit with nothing, and we're gonna go ahead to this next phase against the super hooker. Because he was a
I
hooker, then we was going to the super hooker.
I agree. I agree with you there.
So here's the thing. So now, from the horse's mouth himself, Bill Haney, talking about how he made the game plan for what we saw on that night with Devin Haney. So here's the issue. This is problematic because that's the very problem that Haney's dealing with now. He did not help with that type of game plan. He was trying to, like he said, he was trying to shut up the noise. He had all this narrative and rah-rah. Left hook, you're going to get caught. All right, if it was somebody else, you're going to get caught. Let's make a statement and you shut him out. That the mindset put on a performance that makes people see you as undeniable. That's right. But here's the problem. Here's the issue. While the mindset is right to pitch a shutout and make it so that, hey, yo, I'm really like that, the approach was completely the opposite. It was completely the opposite. Bill Haney helped to instill a level of reservation in Devin Haney. Bill Haney was trying to play it so safe and shut the haters up, which I understand. But he did it in a way that compromised the essence of what his fighter is, which is a great boxer. But you relegated him to saying, hey, just get the win so people can't say anything. Don't get touched with nothing so people can't use anything against you. That type of mentality, which when you equated it in this way, made it so that it is completely backfiring, because now it only made you seem like you aren't better. You aren't as good as you say that you are. If anything, that fight only gave us any inkling into the mind of Haney, both of them, that brother, you all don't trust Haney. You don't trust him. That was the wrong sound. You don't trust him. It gave us the inclination you don't trust Haney. Because if you really did trust Haney, you would say, don't get touched, don't get caught, and box this brother head off. Beat him up. Swell him up. Hit him every which way. Box better than you ever boxed before, and do it in a way because you know you're faster, because you know if you don't want to be touched, you won't be touched, so you got easy access to get away from whatever's coming at you. That should mean you can go and let your hands go against everybody that in every facet except for power you outclass, and you should be able to take full advantage to show every single moniker of talent at your disposal. But you went the opposite, thinking that it would make it so that, yeah, they got the win. We pitched a shutout. What can you say now? We can say a lot, because the way you got that shutout was a man that only spoke to that fight with Riot has done something to you. And if we're being honest, not just to Devin Haney, but to Bill. Let's be real. Not just to Devin Haney. Bill Haney. Because something to be, both of them got affected by that Ryan Garcia loss. And Bill just hurt his fighter by giving him that game plan to make it so that he would be that state. He would survive, not survive, but he would win. He, in trying to shut up the haters, made a game plan that made Devin Haney shut down. That's the problem. In making a game plan to shut up the haters, Bill Haney made Devin Haney shut down as the true essence of what he is as a fighter. And now it's bigger than just reservations of can you get caught with the left hook. Now Devin Haney's working with the issue of, brother, do I even want to take the chance to get caught with anything now? I'm so serious. Especially now that y'all won and you leading into that villain role, guess what that means? This can stick even more as the main fighting style of Devin Haney. Because, hey, I won. I didn't get touched. I showed y'all just how good I am. He couldn't do nothing with me. I can do this against anybody. I can fight like this against anybody. That can be the way that Devin Haney thinks now. Not just out of reservations of the left hook, but for him as a style, yeah, I'm untouchable. So I can fight like I did against Ramirez, potentially against anybody, and have the same level of success. And that's not true. And that's what's going to get him knocked out. That's what's going to get him knocked out. I guarantee you. I promise you. I promise you.
We got some problems here.
Yep, JR, you're absolutely right. We got some problems. Bill Haney just set up Devin Haney to get knocked out. I'm so serious. I am so serious. I'm as serious. I can't get more serious than this. Bill Haney and you making that game plan out of precaution and reservation. You just set your son up to get put to sleep by some of the best in the division. Because now you have essentially limited, no, even worse, you clipped the wings. You have restrained Devin Haney to fight in a manner that does not let him access all of his boxing ability. And by proxy of doing that, you made Devin Haney a worse fighter. You did. Am I lying? Somebody in the chat tell me if I'm lying. If I am, great. We can have a debate. We can have a conversation, but tell me I'm lying. He, in doing that, made Devin Haney a worse fighter. By proxy of making that game plan the game plan to survive in advance. And that is your moniker of shutting the haters up. And I have no doubt that behind the scenes he was telling Devin Haney, don't listen to the outside noise, brother. He could not touch you. Brother, you were untouchable. They don't know what they're seeing. We did a game plan that made Ramirez look like a fool. You can do this against anybody. I promise you. That's what that's what he is telling the likes of Devin Haney behind the scenes. I guarantee you. I'm not one to give, speculative stuff unless it's with like news and stuff and applicable. I'm not one to jump the gun and jump the shark. I'm not one to do that at all. I can't get in the mind of Haney. But I promise you, with how they were going about afterwards of that win, I guarantee you, he was saying all of this behind closed doors, that this was a good win for Devin Haney. Solidifying that this is a viable way for Devin Haney to win against all top competition. And I promise you, he just made Devin Haney a worse fighter. To get Devin Haney back to the level of what he was against Lomachenko is going to take a whole leaps and bounds work of information. It is going to take a level of real work.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
I guarantee you. Bill Haney just shot his son in the foot, going about and willingly making that the game plan for Jose Ramirez. He just shot his son in the foot. Because as your first fight back, that's what you did as your best way to make a statement. Mind you, what you did against Progress was a statement that had the world clamoring And that had us saying that was the best Devin Haney we had seen thus far at 140 because now rehydrated, better weight. You're bigger. Everything looked better and your box the same way, but you have more power. We were all saying, we were saying a completely different tune when you set the tone at 140, the first time out against Progress. We are saying the complete opposite. Both of those fights were statement fights. But this statement that you made, it did not, it might have worked for you in the immediate. But I promise you, you have set yourself up for a level of failure that if you don't teach that mentality out of your son and you don't put that fight with Jose Ramirez in the farthest closets of your mind, I promise you, you have just set Devin Haney up to go and lose against most of the top fighters in the division. I guarantee it. I'm so serious. I am not. I'm being. That's how severe it is. That's how severe it is. We could have had an argument that Devin Haney could have beaten the likes of Tia before this fight with Jose Ramirez. We could have even had a better argument for Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. at 147 if it was the Tia that we saw Lomachenko fight against. Or if it was the Haney that we saw Lomachenko fight against. If it was that. But this one, whatever weight class that you go up to right now between 140 and 147, there is no longer a stamp of approval. There is no longer a feeling of confidence that you can do anything that you did against the likes of Loma. Because you're not that guy anymore because your father made a game plan that essentially pushed that fighter that you were out of you. And you made it so that when it was the biggest statement in recent memory that needed to be made, you opted to go that route of the uber conservative instead of the outright being the best version of you. And you shot yourself in the foot. I guarantee you. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not. I may tell a joke, but I don't. I may tell a joke, but I won't tell you a lie. I guarantee you, it's going. This is a detrimental thing. That is just. It's one of the biggest reasons why Devin Haney should not fight against the likes of a Brian Norman at this point ever, of a Boots ever. If he ever gets to that point, he can't. If he does, absolute shame. And he will get destroyed. I promise you, he will get destroyed. No question about it. He will. I guarantee you. But as we continue the conversation, we still got going back to Norman versus everybody. We still got to go through and discuss Norman versus everybody. So we had people bringing up names in the past. Hold on, let me go back and pull up the names that you all bring because it was a lot. It was a lot. We got. Let me where that I had them pulled up. Hold on. I had them pulled up. Trying to get it real quick. Let me get the old Transnational Boxing Board and pull it back up to be able to see what we got to offer between the weight classes. Who can Norman beat with this newfound level of fervor and fame? Well, if we're going to start at 147, Barrios, absolutely. Ramos, absolutely. Cellini already knocked out. Stanionis, he'll knock him out. Devin Haney knocks him out. Tio might be able to box his way into making it competitive. But he's still there. Oh, shoot. He might. Right now. Oh, my gosh, right now. I may have to give Brian Norman the advantage and say Brian Norman knocks him out. I might have to. For me, I got to think about it. But yeah, I'd say knock him out if that was actually the case, and they actually faced up against each other. We are also with the likes of Pacquiao, and stay away, please. Lord knows that, please. Oh, for that, with everything in you. My gosh, please, Pacquiao, if you win, if you somehow beat the likes of Mario Barrios against all seemingly logical odds, you make it and you win. Do not defend the belt. Don't do it. Don't defend the belt. Retire. Go. Relinquish immediately. Don't you dare try to go and fight against the likes of Brian Norman and try to unify the title. My gosh. Don't do it. Because, brother, if you do that, we thought that knocked out with Juan Manuel Marquez in their fourth and final fight. We thought that was bad. But he goes and fights against this Brian Norman Jr. at 46, hypothetically 47 years old, defending the title. I cannot. From my heart, I can't watch that happen. I can't watch that happen. And this ain't because I'm disrespecting Pacquiao. Pacquiao accomplishing beating Barrios is a feat in and of itself. Pacquiao beating Norman, Pacquiao beating Brian Norman, hypothetically, I don't want to see that. Because I'm almost sure Pacquiao will get put to sleep in a worse fashion than what we saw Sasaki do. But I will say this. Also, Miss Queen, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Let's see. Sean, you got the fresh cut? Yes, sir. We here. We trying to look good. We trying to look fresh and so clean. We doing great. If you were able to get up earlier, we had the wave cap on and everything coming through when it came to watching the Sasaki fight and commentating on it all for 3 hours. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours. Phenomenal fight, absolutely. Ended with a KO of the year by Norman on Sasaki, putting that brother to sleep before he even hit the ground. Insane work. But I'm telling you, if we see Pacquiao beat the likes of Brian Norman in some lunatic or in some lunacy-driven fantasy that turns into reality, but Pacquiao might be top 3. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If Pacquiao beats Barrios and then beats Brian Norman Jr. to unify the titles at 46 years old, hey, at this point, Floyd who? I'm putting this brother at top 3. If he does that, oh shoot. Oh my gosh. That would be one of the most insane, illogical, and absolutely words can't even describe it. We're struggling to talk about the likes of Crawford beating the likes of Canelo in an insane feat. But if Pacquiao came back and beat Barrios, insane in his own right, and then beat Brian Norman for the title, let alone, even better, he turns back the clock and knocks him out. Hypothetically. He's top 3 all time. I don't care. He's top 3. He is top 3 boxers in the history of the sport. From the inception to now. If Pacquiao did this, I'm putting that brother in top 3. With all the other accomplishments, and then beating this Norman, who right now looks to be the biggest op to boots. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Insane. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Words can't even describe what that would be. Words can't even describe how ludicrous that would actually be if it took place. One of the most insane things, genuinely, I would have ever witnessed in boxing history. But as we continue to go through the ranks of who or who couldn't Norman beat, honestly, most of 147, I think he beats. 140, right now, God, looks like he cleans out. Now we get to 154, which looks to be in the near future for Brian Norman. If he doesn't stay and try to unify at 147, it looks to be in the near future that he's going to move up to follow in Boots' footsteps and try to get a fight with him. Now we get into the big boys, the Boachucks, the Ortizes, the Terrence Crawfords, if Terrence Crawford does indeed move back down to 154 after fighting Canelo, regardless of the result. Fundora, Bopron, Tim Tszyu, Erickson Lubin, all these folks are names, with Boots again being right there. From what I'm seeing right now, when we look at Norman versus Bopron, ooh, that's a good fight. That's a really good fight. Oh shoot. But Norman's a better fighter than Bopron though. Bopron got that pop and has been shown he can also trade and counter. Similar to what we saw with the likes of Norman against Sasaki when he did against Tim Tszyu and knocked him out to Kingdom Come. Man, handled that brother in 2 rounds. Ooh, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight. But I think the poise takes it, and I would have to give it to Brian Norman. So I got Bopron losing to Brian Norman. I got Fundora getting knocked out by Brian Norman unquestionably, emphatically, absolutely. I got him getting knocked out by Norman, and no question about it. Now, match him off, Norman knocks him out. Tim Tszyu, if Norman fought at 154, I think Norman might beat him. I think Norman knocks him out too. I think Norman knocks out Tim Tszyu. They fought against each other at this point in time right now. Boachuck, Ortiz, and Crawford. This is where things get sketchy. This is where things get really sketchy. Oh, and Jermell Charlo. Almost forgot. Who don't know when he's going to fight again. Virgil Ortiz and Boachuck. Now this is and Crawford and Boots. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Crawford versus Norman. I got Crawford still at 154. Though incredibly impressive. Ortiz versus Norman. I got, as of right now, Ortiz. As of right now. But that gap has closed immensely from what it was initially expected to be. From the standpoint of what the hell I thought that fight would go. I still got, well, shoot. Dang it, that is a tough fight. Shoot. I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Virgil Ortiz versus Norman. I don't know. I don't know who wins that fight. Dang it, I really don't know who wins that fight. Because it is the calmness that we're seeing Ortiz bring to the table, that we're seeing Norman bring to the table, that is making him so much more destructive. It's not just the power. It's not just the speed and countering. It is the calmness of what he fights like. He wasn't like this earlier in his career. He wasn't like this on the come up. He wasn't like this in the past talks we've had with Norman versus Boots as a real fight contender. This is a different Norman. This is a better Norman. This is a way better Norman. This is a Norman beyond his years, fighting like a past era fighter. Like Somebody said he felt like a haggler. No regard for human life. Just a simple seek and destroy machine that is more mentally acute when it comes to implementing what to do to seek and destroy. Shoot. That fight might be a toss-up. The Bochuk fight might be a toss-up. The only concrete one that I'm saying that at right now of immediate reactions that I would see confidently, yes, one wins, is Crawford and Boots. And even then, that gap between Boots and Norman, that gap closed immensely after this morning. Oh, it did. Oh, absolutely did. It definitely did. That gap between Norman and Boots closed so significantly off of this performance. I guarantee you. Because again, Boots looked leagues better, but also Norman progressed faster than I ever expected. And Norman now has the calmness as well as what is now consistent, the countering ability to tag Boots in between his offense. He's showing that he can. If he does it right, he can match Boots to the punch. Dare I say beat him to the punch before he gets out like with Jen Sasaki. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying he showed that ability. And if you got that ability, that can go a very long way and help you to stifle the offensive array that we see Boots do on a night-to-night basis that is so destructive and so demonstrative that nobody can handle it. But Norman right now is showing, hey, look out. Look out, absolutely. Be prepared. Because, brother, it's something serious. It's something serious right now. That fight with Boots and Norman is no longer just a one-sided affair. No, it ain't. No, it's not. Not in the slightest. That fight is, I still got Boots. But shoot, I know now Boots can lose that fight. I know definitively. I know now Boots can lose that fight. Yes, he can. Oh yes. Oh yes, he can. Oh yes, he can. Boots can, no question, lose that fight. Absolutely. Because with some of the shots we've seen him take over the years, like with Shukajan, like with Avanesian, we see those same shots land against the likes of Norman, or Norman lands those same shots against him. Now we're talking about a different story of how much can your chin really take. Like I said, Boots still fixed a lot of stuff. He fixed a lot of defensive issues. We acknowledged it. Yes, we did. That doesn't mean some tendencies just go away. Old habits die hard. They do. They'll come back up in a heartbeat. I promise you. And if they do, oh, shoot. Everybody better watch out, because my brother, my sister, cousin, uncle, I don't care who you are, where you're watching from. This man, Brian Norman, my gosh. And there was we got now two people in the immediate vicinity that are huge threats to Boots. Crawford and now Norman. We're saying firmly, those are the two best ops, concretely. Norman just separated himself from the rest of the competition when it comes to his fight with Boots Ennis. Yes, he did. He separated himself completely. It's Boots, Crawford, and Norman as the Bermuda Triangle of sorts when it comes to destructive forces in nature going at trying to fight each other. Beyond that, everybody else is either indecisive or you can't beat them. Those three. And competitive fervor for each other. For Boots and Crawford, Norman reached that threshold to where now, hey, these other two, are my biggest ops that we gotta take some time to think. Now, yes, well again, Virgil Ortiz still can beat him. Absolutely. Bochuck, yes, still can beat him. But in terms of while Norman is still connected to those names, no question about it, he has also propelled himself into reaching into that essentially duo rivalry, turning it into a triangle trilogy or a triangle, a Bermuda Triangle of violence, to where I still got work to do with Ortiz, Bochuck, and the other threats at 154 if I do move up as my biggest ops that can give me the most trouble. But while connected to them, I am in that stratosphere now of being a threat to Crawford and Boots. He is. Crawford's still better than both of them. Crawford still, most likely, would beat the likes of Boots, or of Norman. And Boots, though it's closer between those two. But he's in that conversation now. Oh yes, he is. Absolutely. And shoot, I'm telling you, it's an impressive thing. It's an insane thing to witness. And Norman is that brother. That's all I can really say. That's literally all I can say. Norman's that dude. He's that guy. He is that guy. And it's a scary sentiment. It's an incredibly scary sentiment. I guarantee you that right now. It'd be hard pressed to fight him. That is a high risk. It's a good reward. But brother, is the risk with as high as it is it worth it? That's the question. Is it worth it? That's the real question. My gosh. And for some people, they're gonna say that answer is no. I promise you that. But let's keep on going to what. I think we've covered everything that we need to cover for the immediate. So now we can go into the best part of the show, which is the championship rounds. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to work and shine. It's time to make the show your own. Yes, sir. Hey. Whatever you want to talk about, we can discuss it right now on the show. Whatever questions, comments, concerns, debates, video games, comic books, movies, TV, other fights, NBA Finals. We can discuss all of that right now on the show. While you're getting your questions together, please leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. Share the show with as many people as you can so we can keep on having this conversation, pushing it out to the masses, getting everybody involved. Oh, we love it, absolutely. But again, as you're getting your formulating your questions together for what you want to talk about, we do need to hit on the elephant in the room, which is claims that Boots is ducking Norman. Genuinely. We're seeing some stuff over the airways, over the internet saying, hey, Norman now is in that vicinity. And Norman now seemed to be a rolling storm getting ready to be next after he beat Sasaki. And then boom, Boots, you next now. But right then and there, we see Boots then move up and looking to say, yep, I'm moving up to 154. Seemingly, it's been confirmed. It's called a duck, seemingly by a lot of people. But let's pump the brakes on that type of talk, however. Because we also have to understand, Boots did send Norman a contract twice. Don't forget that. Twice. Norman versus, if I have my information correctly, twice, Norman versus Boots could have been made early. But it was Norman who didn't sign. It was Norman who didn't get back. From what I'm seeing right now, trying to put multiple different sources who were tracking the issue, making sure that my stuff is right. It seems to be a couple years ago, Boots sent a contract to Norman 2 times, and Norman never signed it. Norman never got back. Still called him out. Still talked. Still wanted to fight. We still want to fight, but never got back with Boots. So I can't really call this a duck from Boots. One, because he's going after, again, moving up. Now, if he ain't gonna, like I said, if he's not gonna go for undisputed at 154, move up. Ain't got no business being it. Keep to your word. If you ain't gonna do it, go and do what you're supposed to do. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Keep it to his words. We're still holding it. We still remember. We still got the clip set and ready for what he said he was going to do for his career. What he said he was too small for. We remember that. Or excuse me, what he said he was too big for, which was needing to move up to 150, 154. Shoot, this brother had a well, let me pull up. This brother had a thing where he was I think he got posted on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me pull up for you. I'm trying to pull up the tweet so I can give you the full breadth of here it is. Yep, here we go. Let me pull up your picture give you from his words himself what he had to say in lieu of this whole conversation with him moving up.
Sucking all the way down to 47. I feel like it's just kind of like a lot, and even with the nutritionist, like we got blood work and stuff done and things like that, just to see like what I'm missing and what I need, and it basically was telling me like I'm underperforming, like I'm really like at probably 30-40%, fighting these fights, and that took a consideration, as well.
So hey, the brother said himself, hey brother, I'm fighting worse. Biologically, by his doctors, I'm fighting worse at 147 under my capabilities than I should be if I gain weight to fully maximize my ability. And I'm doing as much work as I am right now here. So he's saying it's time. If he's going to do it, do it. If you're going to do it, guess what? Ortiz, take that fight. Not Ortiz, excuse me. If Boots, take that fight with Ortiz that got offered initially. If you're going to make it happen, make it happen. If you're going to move up and handle your business. If you're going to go for undisputed at 154, at 160, at 168, like you said you want to do. You tried to do 170, 147. You're saying now your body can't take it. Okay, fine. We've heard that before. But you stayed. So now we got to keep your word. If you're going to make the move, make the move. Seems like you're committing to it. Happy. Great. Make the move regardless. But if you do, handle your business with the likes of Ortiz, Boja, and the rest of the champions at 154. Go and make it happen. You got to. So that's the expectation. But this is the reasoning for him moving up. And with seemingly, again, from what I'm reading and with reports from people that are actually in the industry, over social media articles and all that stuff from the various boxers and boxing accounts that go and cover this type of news. It seems like Boots sent out a contract to Norman, and Norman didn't take it. So, and that was years ago. So now, if Norman's trying to say that Boots is running from him, I can't say that, one, because of the standard of what we call ducking and not ducking, which Boots fits, that he's not ducking, because he's going after big names and titles at higher weights. We never call that a duck. Norman had an opportunity to fight him earlier, and he left his pin on the table, seemingly. And he did not sign in his own right. But Boots and them were ready to go, seemingly. So I can't call it a duck. We still want to see that fight, though. So if you want to make it happen, follow him up, follow him out. Make it do what it do. Force the issue. If you want it that bad, you could be better at a bigger weight class as well. Hypothetically. You and him would be, especially now, you and Boots would be some of the biggest fights of the year. That would, especially after this KO, oh my gosh. Ridiculous, insane. We would love it. We would absolutely love it. We would pay money. That's the main event thing. That sells out arenas. I guarantee you. I promise you. Oh, that fight is for the fight fans. And that fight would be absolutely spectacular. If you can make it happen, make it happen. But if you're not, you had your shot earlier in your career. Twice, apparently. And you didn't take it. So I can't really call it a duck when given the opportunity, didn't take it in your own right. And also, he is fighting for bigger and better things. Bigger and better people in terms of titles and weight classes and height. Understand it. So, not saying that they're better than you as a talent, but the mountain to climb, he's climbing a new one. So we can't diminish that. We can't do it. We can't. We absolutely cannot. But again, we're still in the championship rounds, ladies and gentlemen. It is still whatever you all want to talk about and discuss. We can discuss it right here, right now on the show. We still got so much stuff that we can talk about and cover. We can talk about the NBA Finals while, again, you're still getting your questions of what you would like to talk about together. We got, it's today. I'm sorry. Today. Is it game 5 or game 6? That's today for the NBA Finals. I want to say it's game 6. I want to say it's game 6 right now, unless I am tripping. Yep, it's game 6. OKC is right now got a 3-2 lead. If they win this game, Oklahoma at about 10:30 tonight would be a first-time champion in the history of his organization, which would be ridiculous, preposterous, insane. But also, they have been the team, the best team, for this entire season. Genuinely one of the most well-built squads in all of basketball. They can close the show. SGA's continuing to play like an MVP. Last game, Jalen Williams had 40, but they had 40. SGA had 30. They shut down Halliburton. Halliburton's injured. Halliburton was injured. Give it to him. Halliburton was injured. He's been battling a calf strain. Understandable. We get it. Absolutely. We don't disrespect it. Was battling calf strain. Was battling an injury. But still, brother, there is a real necessary thing where he's going to have, like I said before, a Willis Reed, Bernard King, Isaiah Thomas type of performance where you're hobbled, you injured, but brother, you gotta give him. You gotta give him 30. You have to. I'm telling you, you have to. If you want to win this finals, you got to, because there's no way that this squad can run like it can run without you being a conducive playmaker. At minimum, a conducive playmaker on the floor. Even if you can't score as much, though, if you can give 30, it would mean the world to get some help. But if you don't, brother, you got to be a facilitator, like which you've been better than most of this season. And you've been great this season. But you got to contribute in a big-time superstar type way. Because right now, OKC's got you on the ropes. More so than they got you on the ropes, they got you figured out. Or they got you shut down. Let's not forget, somebody had made a graph of all the shots that Halliburton's been taking throughout the entirety of the series. Or at least, I believe it's the entirety of the series and majority of the playoffs. But they're shutting that buddy down by forcing him to go left. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. You can go look it up. Almost most of Halliburton's buckets have come from the middle or right side of the cup. Whether it's a 3, floater, a drive, a layup, a mid-range shot, don't matter. But on the left side of the floor, he has been abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. They have been forcing him that way. And they have been helping to mitigate that level of offensive firepower. Not just by quelling the fast break opportunities, but also mitigating turnovers, getting second chance opportunities, and also being able to shoot with and shoot above the level that we normally see the Patriots shoot at from 3. And they also don't rely on the 3 as their main course of action. Oh, and by the way, Miles Turner's getting outplayed left, right, and center by Chet Holmgren. Getting to the board and doing whatever he wants. Getting rebounds left, right, and center. Having the ability to go through and control the paint is a big-time asset to make yourself great. To make your team great. To put yourself in line for a title. And that's what's happening right now. Again, that's what's happening right now. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It's preposterous. But it's expected. Because that's what OKC does. And I guarantee you, tonight, could be, if we see the Patriots pull it out, hey, the series already has been great. Game 7 is going to be phenomenal. No question. But it could end tonight. It could very well end tonight. I promise you. It could end tonight. And if it does end tonight, it's not a failure for the Patriots because they got to the finals. But I tell you this right now. The expectation for them to succeed is only growing. And what OKC can do to retool, regroup, get better in the offseason, off the backs of our title season potentially, ooh, buddy, watch out. The league better take notice, and everybody better get ready. Because this is about to be one of the greatest off seasons we've seen in basketball in more ways than one. I promise you. KD potentially going to the Spurs and or Rockets. OKC having draft picks to get essentially whoever they would want without really losing anything. Because they could trade 4 draft picks, one of their big stars, and get a top 5 player in the league with the amount of capital they can give. And still be good for the entirety of the season. And have their core. Ridiculous. That's what they're working with though. My gosh. My goodness. If they pull this off, the amount of shock I would have would be insane. But just be prepared to get ready, because it's going to be a litany of honestly jaw-dropping moves that's going to take place that I really predict is going to be in OKC's favor. This team can get better after winning a title. So be afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Be very afraid. Because it can get real sticky real quick out here in the what was it? Alex? Mitch? Not Mitch. Mish. Alex Michelle. What we used to say in the what did we used to say in the dorms when we were rooming together? It's mad in the dunya. Buddy, it's mad in the dunya. It's getting ready to get mad in the dunya. I promise you. It's about to get mad in the world. It's getting mad out here. It's mad in the dunya. I promise you. It's about to be ridiculous. Strap in your seatbelts. Buckle your seatbelts. Restrain yourself. Because, buddy, it's about to be a ride that you ain't prepared for. Come this offseason. Oh, I can't wait for it. But be prepared for tonight's game. I got OKC winning. And I think I got them running away. Especially with Halliburton hurt. And with nobody else being able to have the same fervor of one-man heroics like Naismith, Nembhard, Siakam, TJ McConnell, all have had throughout the courses of all of these playoffs. It's been quelled with OKC, or mitigated rather with OKC. Because they can't have that consistent thing. These last second wins, brother, like I said, it's impressive to do. But you can't rely on that as your saving grace coming back all the time. Because somebody's going to keep you down. And they won't let you get close. That's what OKC's doing right now. Once the game gets late, they don't let you get close anymore. Now they're pulling away. Easier and easier every single game. It's get ready. Because Oklahoma might just have themselves a parade in the next coming weeks. Because the championship's about to come to their doorstep potentially tonight. Oh, can't wait to see. It's going to be exciting to see. No question about it. But I think that's all we got to cover on this show. Unless somebody else has something they want to say. Let me make sure that we ain't got no more news that's breaking in the world of sports, boxing, and beyond. Because it's great. Also, if you're liking what you're hearing and you want to support the show, hey, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description also to go through and hey, make it happen. To go and help out, to help make this show better and better, greater, and invest back into it. Hey, this is my job. This is what I do. And I love doing this with you all. But if you can help support the channel, it would mean the world to me, absolutely, as we're continuing to try to build up what this show can truly be. Absolutely. It's all driven by you all. And we can't do it without you, no question about it. So if you did give something, it would mean the world to me, no question about it. And if you do, please leave it in the chat. Put it in the chat that you gave something so I can acknowledge it correctly. Because I don't want to miss nobody. I'm trying to keep my tabs open so I can make sure I see everybody, but I don't want to miss anybody. So if you do something, hey, just give me a holler. Say, hey, I gave it on XYZ platform. Cash App or PayPal. And then boom, I can announce you outright. But I think that's everything that we need to cover with this show, unless something's broken. And hold on, I think we got some more action when it comes to the Boots Norman fight. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Here we go. All right. Before we go, one last thing. Aaron Peterson, who apparently was in the gym with the sparring of the likes of Norman and Boots got some insight into what's actually happened. Apparently he's saying it was never close. And Boots would be able to beat him in 5 generously. But let's see why he says what he says.
Multiple times. It was never competitive. It was never close. It was never any of that.
We're getting it from someone that was there.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're getting it from someone who was there. You saw them spar.
Yes, I saw them spar. So even when they talked about the body shot thing, mind you, when the whole debacle of Brian Norman and his dad going on tour talking about, oh, boots, I'm just sitting there being quiet watching until they start crossing lines. Then I'm like, all right, now, I was there. When he put Brian Norman down, if this was a fight, it would have took way more than 10 seconds for him to get up. When he put him down that body shot, it would have taken way more than 10 seconds for him to get up. But let's pretend that the body shot never happened. The spar was never close, and none of them. That fight, mark my words, does not go past 5. And I'm being generous. Him and Brian Norman.
My God, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Times.
Now,
it was
again, we can have some time. We can talk about it more tomorrow. Understand it. But this is most likely going to be a big topic of conversation when we go into Friday's show tomorrow. Because I know a lot of people are going to have something that they want to say. I promise you that. But are we living in the moment too much and making Norman look more than or having Norman feel more of a threat than he might actually be? Or is it real that Norman is indeed, this is a different Norman than who sparred with Boots? And you all's opinion. Again, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna have again this fight is now one of the most hot button issues in all of boxing, in all the sports, in all honesty. It's gonna get people invested. It's gonna get people talking. People gonna have their side of the story. People gonna have their arguments. I guarantee it. I'll give my 2 cents today, sure. But we can have more time to debate tomorrow. And I guarantee you, we got ourselves a litany of conversations as to what is or what to buy and what to sell when it comes to Boots and when it comes to Norman. And whether or not what we're seeing with Norman now is indeed a product of real evolution, or is it just a facade of a one-time great event that, in all actuality, doesn't dictate what that fight with Boots will be if that fight actually happens. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Unless y'all want to talk about it now, and see when there ain't nobody commenting, we're going to talk about it tomorrow, no question about it. And so, with all that being said, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, yours, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate you being with us earlier today in the morning to watch the fight with Jen Sasaki versus Norman, and then coming back tonight, coming back this afternoon to talk about the ramifications of the ripple effects of that fight with Norman against the world. We're going to have more conversation tomorrow. I promise you, we're going to have more to discuss. It's going to still be a hot button issue. Leave a like on the stream before you go. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you liked or didn't like about the show so we can get some constructive criticism. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you know when we go and post on this channel. Share the show with everybody you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. If you want to support before you leave, Cash App, PayPal on the screen, links in the description as well. If you want to support and give to the show and help make this show bigger and better, put some money in my wallet so we can put it back into the show and make this show even more sophisticated, more refined, more upscale for everybody who tunes in. Absolutely, we're going to keep on growing, and it's all thanks to you and your support. And please, go ahead, if you would, and tell a friend. And enjoy your afternoon. No question. Oh, wait. We see how people talking. Let me see. Before we get out of here, Stanley Gist. What's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. A champ is nothing till he takes a belt from a champ, a.k.a. Go ask Stanley Otis. I feel you. You right. A champ ain't a champ until he take a belt from a champ. From the standpoint of, if you win it in the ring, that's the best case scenario. However, there is a caveat to that. If you defend the belt in a manner that shows, yeah, you like that, you get your just desserts. Boots beating Stanley Otis was the stamp of approval when he got the belt, because he didn't win it in the ring, was given to him when Crawford relinquished the belts and moved up to 168 to fight Canelo, all that stuff. But his talent was still his talent. It got solidified when he fought against the likes of of Stanley Owens, no question, absolutely. Norman, WBO champ, beating Sasaki. But that's a quality win. If there was a fight to validate who this brother was, this fight was the fight. No question about it. And again, you can go and look at our reactions in both the live fight commentary and earlier in the show when we talked about that fight in total and who we can and can't beat. Because right now, we at the end of the show. I'm glad that you're here, Stanley. I appreciate you tuning in. But we get ready to end it, absolutely. If you would, you can go back and listen to this whole thing and listen to all the good commentary and good conversations that we've had. Because people brought us some beautiful points when it came to the whole standpoint of not just Boots and Norman, but Norman versus Haney, T.O., Tank, Madrimov, Virgil Ortiz, Boachuk, all of them. We got some high expectations. And if you come back tomorrow, we're going to talk about more of those expectations and the actual ability to win against those names in even more detail. Tomorrow, on top of, again, you all driving the show. Every Friday, it's you all the show. Y'all make it shine and y'all make it do what it do. The whole show is the championship round to give you all a chance to really control what you want to discuss for the entirety of this show and of this podcast on Friday, every Friday. So we can't wait to hear from you. We can't wait to see what you got to say. And we appreciate it. Absolutely. No question. And so, but we about to get out of here. See, oh, Lord, wait a minute. Oh, why is everybody coming in? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Canelo Floyd's son. Hey, brother, glad you're back. Glad to see you coming through. Thank you for tuning in. Usyk and Pac-Man fighting on the same day. It's crazy. Yes, it is. I didn't realize, well, I think I knew it was on the same day, but my gosh, shoot. Yeah, it just hit me. The timing of that fight's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna tell you that. That's gonna be interesting. Shoot. I hope Pacquiao and Usyk don't fight at the main event at the same time, because I don't know who to watch. That's gonna be if we do call those fights, that's gonna be a mess. That's gonna be a mess to call. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. Oh dang, that's gonna be a mess to call if it's at the same time. Shoot. I'm scared. I'm petrified for that fight. No question. But Floyd, Canelo X Floyd, I don't know what to call you, because it's Canelo. I'll call you Canelo Floyd. I'll call you Canelo's father. Do we call him that? We'll think of a name to help consolidate it. But y'all came at the end of the show. I love it. We get ready to pack it up and send it home. Now, hey, we can continue. I'm not gonna lie. We can keep it going if you want to. If you got some questions, we'll extend it to 3:15. If y'all want to keep on asking some stuff before we could fully go and cash out, because apparently we got people coming in. Hey, we'll make it rock and do what it do. Absolutely. Let me see. Boots offer Brian $1 Why don't Brian offer Boots the same? We covered that earlier in the show. Boots had given Brian a fight twice, and he didn't take it. He gave him an opportunity twice, and he did not take it. And so we're saying, hey, man, you had a chance. You didn't take it. Now you're here. We still want to see the fight, but you can't call him a duck when you had two opportunities to make that fight happen and you didn't do it. So yeah, I'm in the same boat with it. Yeah, why Boots have to make offer? And we're saying, I mean, it's again, we're gonna talk about this more tomorrow, absolutely. But we can't call Boots a duck when Boots signed pen to paper twice, and you and Norman didn't take it. We can't do that if you didn't take it when it was initially offered. And now you saying Boots running away. He's not running away. He's going after 154 for titles. That's not a duck. It's never a duck when you're moving up. We've talked about that countless times as a standard for the show. A duck versus not a duck. This ain't a duck. And we're not saying you ducked Boots either. Though you didn't take the fight. If you weren't ready for it, we understand. I didn't even think at that point in time you were really ready to fight against Boots. But don't be calling him ducks, because then we can bring up what you didn't do when you had a clear in their presence shot and didn't take the opportunity. We gotta keep the standard the same. We got to. If we don't, it's gonna be problematic. Let me see. Usyk versus Dubois is in the UK. So don't worry. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, thank gosh. Thank gosh. I'm gonna have to stay hydrated. I'm gonna have to stay really hydrated for that card. Cause shoot, my gosh. We're gonna be talking I'm gonna be talking all day long, potentially. Hypothetical. Let me see. Holloway versus Poirier also on that. Great dang. What the world? What the world? Why is everything happening at the same time? What the world? Holloway versus Poirier is on the same day. Little Wayne gonna walk out Poirier. Poirier. And let me see. You can call me Floyd's. Okay, I can call you Floyd's son. Okay, we'll call you Floyd's son. Yeah, that flows off the tongue a little bit more. That actually works. That actually works. Good. Thanks for helping me out. Thanks for helping me out. I appreciate it. But shoot, why is everything happening on the same day? This is so much to keep track of. But hey, this is what I do. We're gonna make the best of it. Absolutely. Brian Norman Jr. was smart for not taking that fight. For not taking that 1.5 mil. He can earn more in the long term. Him going to Japan increased his value by a lot. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Like I said. I think I just said it. I understood why he didn't take that fight because I didn't feel he was ready to fight Boots at that point in time, from a talent perspective. Though, hey, the best fight, the best. He was up and coming. Great, take it. If you take it, we love it. If you get beat, grow from it. But he wasn't ready. I completely understand. It's just. Knowing that you had two opportunities to do it and you didn't do it, though the reasoning was valid. You can't then hold that against Boots who's saying, why doesn't he want to fight me? You can't do that. Especially seeing what he is doing, who he is fighting, where he is going, and what he's trying to accomplish. You can't do that because it just makes you look bad. Because if we look back at history, we can skew it to make you seem like, hey, brother, you ducked. Though we knew he was not prepared for that fight to actually be able to win. And he was still growing his name and getting better to a talent to get to the likes of Boots. He was in that conversation. Hey, he's a real threat, but he wasn't there yet. Now he's here. Absolutely. So if you're gonna be as fervent in chasing the brother, hey, we think you can swim sublimely at 154 if you really want to. We think you can swim sublime, or at least I do. Now, some people say that Norman's a natural 147 pounder, and 154 may be something that's too much. Understandable. Hypothetically, I don't think that's the case for me, but still. If you want it, the best way you can get it is to follow him out. Unless you call him out and goad him to coming back down to 154. And stay for one more fight. If you can make that happen, great. If you can't and you still want him, right now he holds all the cards. So you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, reacted to the Brian Norman Jr. versus Sasaki fight and said he had hoped. He had hope in Sasaki till he saw the big difference. Till he saw how big the difference was in that fight. Hey, brother, this is why I'm saying he can move up. Norman is a huge brother. At 147, we were saying that Boots is huge for that division. Norman's huge for that division too. That's a big cat. I mean, that's a big joker, man. I'm so serious. That is a big joker stepping in the ring at 147. Let alone rehydrated and who knows what. He is another physical specimen that is backed by an insane level of poise and IQ and countering ability. Great boxing. A phenomenal timing. Ability to read and react. More so read and predict, which is even better. Oh my gosh. This man's a menace. He's a menace. He's a menace of a man in this division. And mind you, Sasaki has always been a big cat in this division in his own right. Like, I'm not saying he's the most built brother, but he's got like that. He's got like that I don't want to. I guess you can call it fat type muscle. Like he's not fat, but he's not like chiseled. But you see the power, and you feel it when he lands. It's true. Oh, it's true. It's absolutely true. But Norman, but that's a different breed of person. That's a different breed of person. If Boots moves up, it means that Rolly becomes it means that if Boots moves up, it means that Rolly becomes the champ. Right? He's interim. Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh no. 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 Oh my gosh. I just realized it. Oh no. Oh shoot. Boots, right now it's looking like Boots is going to move up concretely. Oh, gosh. So that means that Rolly Romero is going to be the mandatory. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. And so that means that the champions at 126, or excuse me, at 127, excuse me, are Mario Barrios, Rolly Romero, and and Brian Norman Jr. Oh my gosh. Well, Rolly, it was a good run. Hey, you got your win over one of the big three. You lost the Tank. You beat Ryan Garcia. You fought simplistically. You showed us the best we've ever seen you in a mighty long time. You put it all together. And ironically enough, you were calm, cool and collected. Hey, you did your thing. You did your thing. But the buck stops here. The buck stops here. If you become mandatory, oh it's done. Oh, it's done. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's all oh Lord. Oh my gosh. Look, this is what it's gonna happen. Yeah, that fight gonna start, and by round 3, you know what you're gonna hear? That's all you're gonna hear. Cause it's gonna be and excuse me for the volume. Trying to make sure it ain't loud. But yeah, it's gonna be a flat line. That's all you're gonna hear. It's well, hey, look, Norman's about to have, he's about to have 3 KOs of the year on his resume. Stanley, he about to have 3 KO, he about to have 3 knockouts of the year on his resume. Stanley, Jen Sasaki, and then Rolly Romero. He about to, this cat, this fella, oh no, oh gosh, no, oh my gosh, I ain't wearing a chain, but I'm clutching my pearls, cause shoot, oh Lord, I didn't realize, oh shoot, oh that's about to be bad, oh that's about to be. Woo! Oh, that's it. Oh, Canelo, oh, excuse me, Floyd's son, come back tomorrow. Please, bring this up when everybody's in the chat. My gosh, because I hate that we brought this up at the end of the show. Because great day in the morning. This is, shoot. Hot dog. That's about to be a murder. Oh. Gosh, that's about to be devastating. That's about to be, it's about to be so bad. Oh my gosh. It's about to be so bad. And we should have it. Knowing that Rolly is cool with Turkey, that means that Norman and Rolly might fight. And Norman gets a huge back. You know it. Hey, brother, you know it. Good gosh. Hey, brother, you hit the nail on the head. Yes. Hey, Rolly, you did good. You earned yourself a big fight. Your next fight, Brian Norman, for the title. That you now are officially the full-blown super champion. Good luck. Make us proud. That's gonna be, shoot. That's gonna be funny. Lewis Crocker, who won his last fight by DQ, Youzuzin, is the mandatory for one of Boots' belts. Fighting the dude who got DQ'd, he's number 2. He's number 2. His only loss is the DQ. Is the DQ. Hey man, look, anybody right now is just at this point in time, it don't matter who it is. Norman's just looking like a world killer, a world beater. At 147 right now, without Boots in this division. But I don't know. It's a hard pressed issue to see who can take this brother out. It's genuinely at 147. It's a hard pressed issue for anybody to look through and say, yeah, if it ain't Boots, it ain't many. Because I don't see T.O. doing it. With all due respect, I definitely don't see Haney doing it. Gary Russell, he probably ain't never moving up, so I don't see that happening. And that, yeah, I mean, shoot. My gosh, let me see. It's not official yet, but I hope Boots drops the belt. I really think he is. I truly do believe he's dropping the belt. Everything right now is really pointing to he is dropping the title, and he's moving up, and he's going at the Virgil. It seems like, again, speculating. Full disclaimer. But I played a clip of him with the doctor, or I played a clip of him talking about what his nutritionists are saying. That he's performing under 30%. Going off of the questions that are being asked to Brian Norman about Boots seemingly confirmed to be moving up to 154. And all reports surrounding it, yeah, I think it's really gonna happen. And he's committing. We wanted it. If you ain't gonna go for undisputed, go for 154. And I think that's what we're going to see right now. Barrios or Pac-Man, either of them will be a victim. I hope it's Barrios. This almost makes me want to see Pacquiao lose. Because I don't want to see that happen. I can't afford to see Pacquiao get put out. I can't afford to see that brother put out. I can't afford to do it. My heart can't take it. My heart can't take that. Oh my gosh. Shoot, that would be horrible. That would be terrible. Pacquiao's one of my favorite fighters of all time. That would be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh boy. Talk about some concern. And I guarantee you, man, Pacquiao, we've already said it. Pacquiao beats Barrios. One of the most insane things we've seen in his career. Ridiculous. Preposterous. If it happens, so impressed. Elevates his stock even more. But I said this earlier in the show when talking about who can Norman beat. Pacquiao, if he beats Barrios, would be a full-blown champion. And he would be in the running to fight against Norman. I want him to drop the belt if he wins the title. Immediately. Don't even make that fight happen. But if he does indeed take it on, and if he beat Brian Norman Jr. to defend this title, let alone to become unified title, and take Norman's belt in the process as well. Brother, like I said earlier, Pacquiao, he's top 3 all time. He's top 3. If Pacquiao beats Barrios and then beats Norman at 46 years or 47 years old, more likely, by the time that fight would actually happen, after 6 years out the ring, wear and tear, knowing that brother was gone once he lost to Ugas, done. Off the backs of what has already been one of the greatest careers in boxing history, already solidified as a top 10 fighter in boxing history. Yeah, he's top 3 if he does this. I'm not going to front. I don't care. If he does that, he's better than Floyd. I don't care. I'm sorry. I know Canelo's Floyd's son. I know you're a Floyd fan. But just by the name alone. I'm not saying this out of disrespect, but that would be so preposterous. That would be so insane. That would be so that would be, I can't even put into words how much of a drastic accomplishment that would be if he in fact beat Pacquiao, beat Barrios, and then beat Brian Norman for his belt at this stage, no. I don't care. He's greater than Floyd. There's no more debate. I already feel we can argue if Floyd is a better fighter than Pacquiao. Absolutely. We can argue that. Though Floyd fought Pacquiao 5 years too late, I think it would have been an even more, it would have been the true tough test that we even wanted to see if they had fought 5 years earlier. But that's neither here nor there. They fought when they fought. Pacquiao lost. Understand him. But I promise you this, buddy, if he beats Norman, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's going to... And I've never disrespected Floyd. I don't ride for Floyd, but I never disrespected him. I've ranked him as fairly as I can. Trying to tell the history of the sport the right way. If Pacquiao does this, he's a top 3 fighter in boxing history. He's up there with Henry Armstrong. He's up there with Joe Louis. He's up there with Ali. He's already in that vicinity. I'm talking about he is at the table. He is at the table. One of the 3 greatest fighters we have ever seen. If he can accomplish this. That is so insane. That is so preposterous. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense at all. That makes no sense at all if he actually pulls this off. Insane. Yeah, this puts him above Floyd. I agree. I'm a Floyd supporter and a fan of his work. Yeah, no question. I am too, but never a fanboy of any fighter. And I'm like, man, it's so insane that if it works, I don't know what else you can say. Except for you have to give him respect. You have to. You would have to. If it goes decision, Pac-Man wins. If it goes stoppage KO, it's Barrios. No doubt. Excuse me. If it goes decision, Pacquiao wins. If it goes by stoppage KO, it's Barrios. No doubt he not that good. Glad he getting his bread though. Yeah, I am to make your money. Absolutely. Pac-Man needs to fight smart. Pac-Man, and again, we will just, excuse me, good gosh, oh Lord, whoa, hold on. Wait a minute, back it up. Rewind that. I sound like a fool. Oh Lord, let me get my words together. My gosh. Pacquiao needs to fight with a game plan, Pacquiao needs to fight with a secondary game plan. If his legs fail him again, but that is 2/3 of Pacquiao's offense. He's still got stamina. Sure, he's always going to have heavy hands. The power ain't going to go. It's not, because Pacquiao's always been a very heavy-handed fighter. Keith Thurman said it. Cotto said it. Every weight class he's been in, Pacquiao's power has always been a staple of, brother, what am I getting hit with? It's not just I'm getting hit with 5 different things. What am I getting hit with? It's insane. But if his legs fail him, like he did against Ugas, he's got to have a secondary game plan to get around that length of 6'1". 75-inch reach, 74, something along those lines with Barrios. He's got to have a secondary game plan to be able to accommodate to that. Because if he doesn't, man, it's gonna be a bad night. It's gonna be bad. Y'all saying Barrios is not that good, and then why is Pacquiao fighting him? Y'all trying to downsize him? No. I think let me put the conversation in a better picture. And I'll put it on me. I'll put it on me specifically. I won't put my opinion when I'm looking at Barrios. Barrios is a good fighter, no question. Barrios is a dangerous champion for this fight. Absolutely. He is a champion outright. No question. We watched the fight with Ramos. When he got put down Ramos twice and ultimately beat him. Phenomenal fight. He's a warrior. Literally a warrior in the fullest extent of the word. We love him. We appreciate him. He's a phenomenal fighter. We never disrespect him. He's so great that his win is one of Tank's best wins. Tank ain't fight a bum when he fought Barrios. Tank fought a threat and he beat him. That's impressive because Barrios is Barrios. But with that being said, amongst the hierarchy of champions at 147, he is not the best of the best. We do understand that. We're not trying to minimize the win. But there are levels to the championship status between the champions that are there. He's not on a certain threshold. Like, he's not on, he ain't on a Norman level. He's not. There's a conversation that he might be on a Stanley Otis level. Might be above Stanley Otis, but you can see him around, above, but in the vicinity of that range. You saw what he did against Abel Ramos, a phenomenal fight, but it was a competitive fight. And it wasn't just because Ramos stepped up his game. Ramos been fighting the same way. But when he fought against Barrios, it was a closer fight, not just because of the game plan. The skill sets and the skill level was also, you could see the vicinity. You could see the connection. Okay, yeah, this is about around where Barrios is. This doesn't mean he's bad at all. We're not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad, excuse me. I'm not. I keep on saying if he beats Barrios, brother, that's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. For where Pacquiao is right now, insane, ridiculous, preposterous. As a first fight back, insane. Absolutely. But we're also not calling him, again, from a talent perspective, number one in the world, number two in the world. While he's still a champion, no question. It's not diminishing him. But with the others in the division, like with Devin Haney, like with Teofimo Lopez, now like with Ryan Garcia, though we know Ryan Garcia lost to the likes of Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero also at 147 in that vicinity now. With all of them now up at his higher weight class, there are still levels that of the champions or top contenders, vying for his belt. There is some discrepancy as to where he falls, even with him being a champion. He still is a champion. But that doesn't mean that the talent level is the same as the other people. Doesn't diminish that where he is and what he is as a fighter. At least when I'm talking about him. To give you as clean cut of an example or discussion as I possibly can. Barrios is dangerous because he's hungry to fight. Yes, he is. No question. Like I said, never diminish it. And I think without reading your comment, I brought at this point too. Tank fought him with the weight. Tank fought him with weight drain. Yeah, but Barrios is a real heavy hitter. He can be a killer, no question about it. Barrios just didn't mention it until after Ryan's fight. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Everything you're saying. Excuse me, my apologies. Everything you're saying is absolutely true. I'm not taking anything away. Absolutely not. The whole crux of this conversation wasn't to diminish the likes of Barrios. It was to put in perspective what's next for Pacquiao. If Pacquiao does beat Barrios, then it's Norman. Potentially. Almost assuredly. Unless Norman fights Rolly Romero, which, again, is a very likely thing. Especially now that Norman did this. I guarantee you Turkey's going to want to have him under that Riyadh season card. And like I said, Rolly, you did your thing. But my gosh, buddy, you're going to have to... That's going to be a tall order to ask for, going up against Brian Norman. But both of those fights... gosh, what's going on with me today? Great day. My goodness. Hold on. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. When it comes to Norman against Pacquiao, if that fight is now in the near horizon, which it is with a win, there are levels to that fight. Barrios saying that. This fight with Barrios, if he wins, is phenomenal. The fight with Norman, if Pacquiao wins, but that is otherworldly. That doesn't diminish what Barrios brings to the table. Never. But buddy, that speaks to what we're seeing with Barrios with Norman right now. Because most of us recognize or I wouldn't even say recognize. The wide arching feeling is that if Barrios fought against Norman, Norman's knocking out Barrios for me in 6. Dominating him for me. It might not be for you, for me. That's not disrespect to Barrios. That speaks to the talent that we see Norman bringing to the table, especially now. As a better, it's not just the knockout. It's not just the shock and awe of the KO. It's everything that built up to that KO. The countering. The ability to react before the opponent was able to throw. Predicting what he was going to throw before he ever threw it. Literally catching Sasaki on the windup. Not the full-blown, okay, I'm arching out and I'm following. The windup he caught the brother with. Ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Like I said, I've applauded anyway for that same type of, not instinctual is the wrong word, that same type of anticipatory reading of an opponent. Knowing what you're going to do before you do it. I've applauded anyway for that very thing. Norman showed that against Sasaki. Insane. Ridiculous. Preposterous. I was talking about anyway doing that to Louis Neary. Another heavy-handed brother. That makes no sense. But this is what we're saying. This is the type of destructive, warlike mentality and warlike nature that we're seeing Brian Norman bring to the table. Just like we had somebody else say earlier, Norman's bringing that same level of war like a modern-day Marvin Hagler. Not comparing ability, but comparing mentality and how is no regard for human life, regardless of who's in the ring. Like we said before, the brother was bowing to the crowd while Sasaki was lifeless in the ring. He did not care. He did not care. I mean, like he cared from the standpoint of, yeah, I hope you're okay. But in terms of like showing, a physical toll of, oh man, hey, I hope you're all right. It was more so, hey man, I do hope you're okay. But this is the risk you take when you fight me. That's how he's walking around. That's scary. And the talent's backing it up. Absolutely. Boxing is starting to look more exciting. Boots at 154 fighting Bakram. More likely with Bakram style, or with Bakram saying, he fights same day as Canelo plus Boots wanting to fight Bud. Man, oh man, like I said, 126 is heating up. Nick Ball, Espinoza, Fulton back on top in the division. Now, what is it? Not Murtala. Who's the other brother at 126? Who's the other cat at 126? Shoot. Angelo Lee. That's what I'm thinking of. They running great. Junto moving up from 118 to 122. Very near future. Anyway, and Junto is close to happening. Anyway versus Nick Ball. Anyway versus Espinoza. 126. Bam Rodriguez coming up. He's fighting against Kafu. July. Don't forget that. But he's making his way up the ladder too to 118 potential. He could face Junto before Junto faces off against anyway. It can happen. 130. You got 135. Tank and Roach, Shakur and Lamont. Shakur and Tank. A litany of fights that can happen. Keyshawn Davis at 140. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Keyshawn Davis also got to move up to 140 because he's too big for the division. Because he got stripped. Unless he tries to drain himself one more time and risk missing weight again. But he's most likely moving up to 140. Now, 140 got more hitters. Everywhere you go, it's heavy-handed. Bivol and Beterbiev trilogy. Benavidez versus Callum Smith to defend Benavidez's title. That's in the works. Crawford versus Canelo. Insane. Ridiculous. Just keeps on moving through and just damaging destruction. Tim Tszyu coming back. Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu is looking to be made in the near future. You got you got heavyweight Moses Atuma, Ajit Kabayel, Justice Honey, Fabio Wardley. A Tuma versus Wardley could happen down the line. A Tuma versus Justice Hooney can happen down the line. Usyk versus Dubois. My gosh. Usyk versus Dubois. All sorts is happening. Ridiculous. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, hypothetically. AJ versus Wilder, hypothetically. Though the luster, understandably, is gone because Wilder ain't the same. But that could still happen. I mean, the sky is the limit for the world of boxing right now. Everywhere you look is something major going on. And everywhere you look, something big is being shaken up and moving. Fights are being made on a consistent basis that are quality, that are consistently living up to the expectations of what fans expect to see. This is what we want for boxing to happen. And it's all good, absolutely. Nick Ball versus Sam Goodman, a good fight. Also, I forgot about that too. I forgot Nick Ball's fighting Sam Goodman, who was going to fight anyway before he got injured twice. I keep forgetting. See, I'm losing track of stuff because we got so many fights going. Let's not forget. Hold on now. Let's not forget also Jai Avatar versus Ceruto can potentially happen any day now, hypothetically. That fight at the drop of a hat can get agreed to just like that. After Ceruto takes on his fight, that can happen within the coming months. Great day. My gosh. Good. Oh, and also don't forget that. Oh, you also got the Grand Prix happening too. And so like and sticking with Jai Avatar, but Benavidez said he got one or two more fights. He moved up to cruiserweight. We could see Avatar versus Benavidez. We could see Ceruto versus Benavidez. Like everything. We could see Canelo versus Benavidez, depending on the outcomes of 175. If Benavidez does indeed get a belt, or if Benavidez is a part of the deal that Turkey got set in place for Canelo to fight on that 4-fight deal. That consists of already Terrence Crawford, that already had William Skull as the first fight. He got 3 more. Crawford being the second one, in 2 and 3. There's so much stuff. It almost racks your brain. I guarantee that Grand Prix is, oh God. Oh, it's tomorrow? See, I'm telling you. It's so much stuff going on. June 20th, super lightweight and middleweight. Brother, it's a lot going on, man. Boxing's getting, see? And this will be the last point. And again, I'm not trying to ride for Turkey. Please understand. Not paid by nobody. I don't care about who promotes the stuff. We give props where props is due, and then we critique where critiques need to be made. We want to make some money, sure. We won't let no sponsor change if we do ever get one. Prayerfully, we make it happen. Ain't nothing going to change about how we feel about what we talk about. I guarantee you, this is what I was saying when it came to 2023. We were seeing a shift in what boxing was turning into. I told y'all 2023, a shift was coming in what this sport was turning into. And how it was slow, but it was happening. We got multiple undisputed fights. Big names fighting against other big names. Performances that are still talked about today, and consistently the slow roll of building up and actually getting the fights that we want. From names finally crossing paths with each other that we have been waiting on for the past 3 or 4 years. It's happening. And now it's starting to happen all at once. Quicker than we expect. Back to back to back to back to back. Every year. Since 2023. This is what we want the sport to be. It can get better, absolutely. It ain't perfect, no question. But this is what we want. This is the track that we want for this sport to get better. Because now this is getting people's appetite wet to get more investment in the sport. And it's getting exciting. People are coming back. People are starting to care. People are looking at and saying, hey, we got time to actually pay attention to this. And it's worth our time and watching. So I'm excited for it, absolutely. Let me see. You watching that Grand Prix tomorrow? I'm going to watch it, but I also got to do a show at the same time. I believe when the Grand Prix is going through, well, actually, let me see. It's 3 p.m. switcher time. So around 9 or 10 p.m. for you. Is it 9 or 10? Let me see. Oh, no, shoot. I can't watch it. I'm sorry. The time works out great normally, but I got something I got to do on Friday from about like 8 to like 12. So sadly, I won't be, it's AM. Oh, it's AM. Oh, shoot. Okay. That may work a little bit better, but dang it. I got to shoot, but I got a show. I got to, dang it. I'm going to watch it, but I got a show to do. And I got to be able to, but I want to do the thing. But I want to watch the fight. But I want to do the live stream. But I just did a live stream for the Jen fight. I got to think about it. I got to think about it. Ooh, I got to think about it. You know what? Can we do a compromise? I can have the fight on while I'm doing the show. But to save my voice, because I'm not going to lie, I'm still getting used to being able to pace myself talking this much, this often. I can't lie. There's been a couple days where I've been kind of like, ooh, I might not make it. but I will have the fight on, and I'll try in the midst of the show to call the fights, because it should go from what? If it starts at around 10, if it starts around 9:30-ish, 10 a.m., last time it was like a 3-hour card with all the fights that they had going through with this time middleweight and lightweight. I'm assuming it's going to go throughout the show. I can have it on, and we talk through it while we're also doing the show, because it's going to be a championship round. So y'all going to be controlling the action. So I might be able to call it, but I can't call it at the start because I got to take some time to prep in the morning to make sure I got everything right for that 12 o'clock range, so we can make sure that everything's on the up and up. So I won't be able to call it at the start, but if it's on while the show's going through, it should be A-okay. It should be, hypothetically. Not saying it's concrete, but hypothetically. Yo, Joshua M., what's good with you? Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. We appreciate it so much. Glad to see that you're tuning in. Leave a like on the stream since you're here, if you like what we got going on, because it's indeed a great show to have. We've been rocking for 2 hours, 43 minutes. This was supposed to only be an hour 43, hour 52 hours max. We hitting almost 3 hours yet again. I told y'all, once we get the ball rolling, this show's something great. We love it. I love the interaction. I love talking with you all. It is indeed phenomenal. And please, if you would, share the show with everybody that you can, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know what we got going on. And what's the other thing? Shoot. Oh, comment. That's what I was thinking. Comment your thoughts and opinions on the show. But look, I think we do got to get out of here. I'm sorry. It's almost 4 o'clock where I'm at, and I do have some business I need to handle this afternoon. So I don't want to leave. I don't. Because hey, full disclaimer, I need the watch time. I can't lie. We trying to make it great. But in lieu of it, we're going to be back tomorrow. Every Friday, y'all show, you drive the show, and you drive the conversation. So be back here on Friday, because we can have all this conversation and more with even more people coming through. Because I promise you, brother, some of these conversations that we had, they're going to bleed over. People got some opinions. People got some conversation. I guarantee you, there's some people that want to speak on some of this stuff. And I still got some more stuff I want to say about stuff like Norman versus Boots, like with Norman versus even the likes of Virgil Ortiz, Devin Haney, if he can ever get to that level of being a viable threat to the likes of Brian Norman Jr. at this stage in his career right now, in light of the Jose Ramirez fight. There's a whole cavalcade of stuff that we can talk about tomorrow, but we're going to talk about it tomorrow. We got to put a cap on it. So we're going to end it right now. So with all of that being said, for the second time today, as we end the show, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Please leave a like on the stream before you leave. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you liked or didn't like about the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go and post on this show and have something going on. And share the show with everybody you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together. If you want to support the channel, Cash App, PayPal, please. It would mean the world to me. We're working hard to make this thing great, and we can't do it without your support. We don't have super chats, so this is the best way to give and support to the channel. At this point in time, we're building up to ad revenue and all that stuff, but hey, at this point in time, we're only driven by you. And if you can't get perfectly fine, but if you can, please, mean the world to me, and we love it and we support it, no question about it. But I've been Jean-Luc Welch. You all have been wonderful. We're going to see you on Friday. Peace and love. We are out here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all tomorrow on Friday.